Social shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's some social shit for everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I may just be myself, so hit me. Woo! I mean, like, we can pull that clown shit away. There's some real shit for you. I'm spazzing right now, so listen, let's go. Yeah. It's in their bones, the thugs in harmony for the love of the money. Then fall victim for the cookie, then turn pussy, it's lonely. You said you hold it down when life get rough, we're here now, so show me. We move them losses to them wins. Heavy pounds, we make it ends meet. Converse of only few who make me feel like I be 10 feet.
Yo, people, man. What's going on, man? What's going on? Bro, we are back in the building. So I hope everybody is doing blessed. I hope everybody's doing all right, man. We're here. Quick match reaction. For the game last night, Liverpool versus AC Milan. Liverpool back in the Champions League, you know, back where we belong, A convincing victory last night, for the Reds. Didn't start off too great, and obviously we'll get into all of that. But in the end, you know, Liverpool deserved winners, man. Absolutely, you know, deserved winners. I think AC Milan, they're going through whatever it is that they're going through as a football club right now. I heard the fans after the game. You can see, and you listen, you guys, for those who watch Serie A, and you know, you've seen some of these European teams. You got to be easy, you know, especially when you're like one of the biggest clubs in the world, in like, you know, AC Milan. Be easy, because if you're not putting in, I think with these guys, it's more about the effort and the performance of their players. And if they're not seeing something, even if you lose, it's like, okay, you might just lose to a better team, no worries. But they can at least say, okay, well, you know, the team still, you know, did reasonably well, right? But yeah, the fans, they were not happy. They were really, really not happy. So yeah, that's good for Liverpool, man. That's good for Liverpool. We can go to all the away grounds and make sure that their fans are left booing. Then that's what we're all about, man. That's what we are all about. Big up Steve in the building. At least Pulisic left with something. Yep. I thought he was decent. He's probably their best player. Yeah, probably their best player in the game. If I'm being totally honest, but. Obviously, there was a lot of talk, and guys, please make sure, you know, let's get into semantics. Please make sure you smash a like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You can see my code for the FPL is running alongside the along the bottom. So make sure you join the FPL. It's free. So if you want to join in, please do. The winner will receive a prize come the end of the season. So now to the lineup, you know, of the game. Now, quite a lot of people, myself included, obviously, I did the match preview yesterday, talking about, you know, with Harrison, we were just talking about some of the changes that Slot might potentially make, some of the players that we would like, you know, to potentially see, you know, in this game, right? Because obviously, coming off the back of that defeat to Nottingham Forest, obviously AC Milan are coming off the back of a 4-0 victory. You know, they're in good spirits, I would assume, you know, coming into this game, and they're playing at home. We're coming off a defeat, and, you know, the mood around camp, I wouldn't even say camp, the mood around the fan base, should I say, just wasn't really that great. You know, fans weren't really too happy. Fans were kind of like, eesh. You know, certain players are rubbish. This guy's not good enough, and, you know, etc. Fair enough. So obviously, I was looking at it thinking, we have got, I think it's Bournemouth away. No, home actually. I know we got Bournemouth next anyway, but we got obviously our next Premier League game where I felt we could easily, you know, rotate, you know, a few more players, you know, in that kind of game. But maybe this game might just need a little bit of a freshening up. And Arne Slot, he kind of probably saw that too. And you can see down our left-hand side, he changed it. So Tsimikas came in for Robertson, and Cody Gakpo came in for Luis Diaz, right? So yeah, to be honest, in terms of the lineup, I mean, I wasn't really fussed. It would have been just more so about maybe striker. And obviously, hindsight is a wonderful thing, right? We probably should have changed the striker around. Turn my hat around. Maybe we probably should have changed the striker around. But listen, ultimately, he's gone with Diogo Jota, and you know, I'll speak on him in a little bit. But yeah, that the left wing Gakpo, I was happy with that. I felt like, you know, it's maybe time that you start Gakpo. Spoken about him, you know, prior, you know, to the season starting and stuff like that. So, you know, why not see what he can do? You know, and listen, going away to the San Siro, this is probably the best opportunity that, you know, you can really have to really show yourself and really show, you know, can you be in the manager's plans, you know, moving forward. So yeah, man, I was kind of good with that. I wasn't too fast. And Tsimikas for Robbo. A few people wanted Robbo out of the team anyway. Some people have obviously Simicast was really good during the preseason. Was a little bit of a shock that he didn't actually start the season, but again, hindsight's a wonderful thing. After last night's performance, I can probably see, why. He wasn't really in there, but it's all fairs, man. It's all fairs. Milan, I think they went with what I kind of assumed. Maybe the only difference I think I would have had, or I thought, sorry, they would have had is Morata and Tammy Abraham. Abraham did come on obviously in the game, but I thought maybe that, but I understood why Morata obviously started, having that kind of presence, up front in terms of someone who's really good at holding the ball, really good at link up play, can bring the other players like a Pulisic, Reinders, or a Leao into the game. Maybe that was, their thinking behind everything, because they were trying to go for some of those long balls, at times, into Morata. Even though, yes, you've got Konate and Van Dijk, I still feel like Morata's one of those weird players. I feel like he can handle himself anyway, in these kind of situations, and he's a bit of a decent finisher, when he wants to be. So, yeah, nothing really surprising, if I'm being honest, from their lineup. Obviously, you can see here, this is the average positions of the players. Yeah, we were set up in our usual kind of, it was obviously, you could say 4-2-3-1, but at times Maka would be alongside Gravenberch. At times Trent would be alongside Gravenberch, depending on who's got the ball, where the ball is, and stuff like that. It's rotation as per usual. You can see Mo Salah, he's the furthest forward. I think that's Leao on the other side. He's the furthest forward. Again, I expected that, those two to be the furthest forward, for each team. You can see Morata's kind of dropped in almost into like an attacking midfield, kind of position. So again, all of these things I kind of expected from both Milan and from Liverpool. Steve saying here, I love Pulisic, but when he's your best player easily, this is what happens. Yeah, I hear it. It's even on Pulisic. It's himself. Like I said it before the game, and I was saying to Harris about not worrying so much about Milan's. So Leao's on the other side. So yeah, not worrying so much about the left-hand side for Milan, because I always feel like someone like Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao, they're the kind of players that you're almost like, yeah, if they're on job, then fairs. Yes, they will be a problem. And when they're on job, they can look like some of the best players in the world. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like they can operate at that level, but I don't see that consistently enough. More so from Leao. Theo Hernandez maybe, but again, even him, sometimes it's a little bit wishy-washy, right? But I feel like with a Pulisic, and a Calabria down that side, especially with Reinders dropping into, pockets of spaces and stuff like that, picking up the ball. You got Loftus-Cheek in the middle. I felt, Loftus-Cheek was playing, he was playing decently enough in that first 15 minutes anyway, of the game, in terms of helping to break up play, but also driving with the ball. And he did that really at points in the game. It just sometimes loose touch or poor pass and stuff like that. So that kind of ruined it, really and truly for him. So yeah, I always felt like Pulisic, I don't know, Pulisic against Liverpool is always, yeah, it's just always a bit funny whenever I watch Pulisic, especially during his, during his Chelsea days, so yeah, man, I thought it was just one of those. Obviously, you guys can see here, there's the stats. I haven't got all of the stats. I couldn't really care less, to be honest with you. But I guess the ones that people care about: expected goals, 2.74 from Liverpool, 0.54, from AC Milan. They had no big chances in the game. We had 5, which kind of tells you the kind of game we had. 23 shots. Their keeper had to make 8 saves, and that's a mixture of Maignan and the substitute goalkeeper who had to come on. So yeah, it was honestly, it was real dominance, from Liverpool. After we had conceded, I would say. I think it was after that point, that's when I was like, okay, cool. Now Liverpool are really coming into play. And when we're looking at it in totality, right? So just a general look before I kind of, take a big up Revenite in the building, man. Hope you are good. Yeah, when I'm looking at it in totality, I think Liverpool had a good 65 minutes of that game. So the first 15 minutes, I felt Milan were a little bit on top, but then it became a bit more even, so to speak. But we weren't really, I just didn't really feel that we were gonna, push really too hard. That's funny. I didn't really feel like we was gonna push too hard, just as of yet. It was really, I think, I can't remember when our first shot was. It like the 15th or 16th minute when we had our first shot of the game? Was it Mo Salah, or I can't remember who it was now. I'm sure it was when Mo Salah hit the post or something like that. But yeah, that's when I felt okay, Liverpool kicking into gear. And the last 10 minutes of the game, I did feel that Liverpool kind of we're starting to big up Mike, by the way. He mentioned something on Enz's call-in show about these last 10 to 15 minutes of games, Liverpool always kind of conceding chances, which is in my opinion quite true, and I've seen it in more or less every game. Give or take, there might be one game in there where we didn't concede a chance in the last 10 minutes, right? But yeah, that is something. I don't know if it's something to look at. I don't really know, but it is definitely something to ponder at the bare minimum. You could say, you could give it a lot of reasons as to why, but the reality is it's happening. At the end of the day, Liverpool are giving up chances, later on in games, whether that's just maybe just a little bit of I don't want to say naivety, because I don't feel like the players will be naive. Maybe just a bit too complacent at times. When the game is so comfortable, and you're sitting there thinking, yeah, man, we got this game won, which, if I'm being honest, 9 times out of 10 in these positions, we have actually had the game kind of won. But sometimes it can be, it's not like we're winning at the point of like 5-0 at that point when it's happening. It is usually 3-1, for example, or 2-0, where all it takes is the opposition to score, and then the game starts looking a little bit peak, but it is one of those things. Maybe it will just be kind of evened out throughout the season. But yeah, that was definitely one. But yeah, that and the first 15 minutes of the game, I did think that Liverpool were quite poor. But yes, that 65 minutes of the game, I felt Liverpool were in total control. Midfield didn't start off well. I felt midfield, I was even big up Tariq, because I was chatting to him during the game, and I was saying to him, bro, like, there is no midfield at the moment for Liverpool. Like, AC Milan don't. It's like they've just bypassed completely Liverpool's midfield. We're not even seeing. Where's Gravenberch? Where's Szoboszlai? Where's McAllister? They're just getting bypassed every single time. Easy pass, Reinders, pockets of space. That's it. All of a sudden, now they're facing our goal. Did you get what I mean? And it was like ran, and you could see there was a. I wish I had the still. I'll see if I can get it up now. But there was a still. I remember looking at it, thinking, bro, you can see they've got their 4 attackers right in front of our defense. Basically 4v4 right there. Right there, they got 4v4. Where's the midfield? Midfield are behind. Like, how they bypassed you? Like, it just wasn't making any sense. And they were always finding that. It was always big up Reinders. And I know I've not, watched him enough, but a lot of people spoke about Reinders during the Euros and stuff like that. I can see why. I can see what type of player, he kind of looks like. And I can see why people wanted us to sign him as well, because he looks like a player who knows and understands how to find pockets of space. He looks like he's really good at that. They were getting, I don't want to say joy, but down our left-hand side, their right-hand side, again, Pulisic, Reinders, creating sometimes overloads, pockets of space, getting in behind, just finding gaps. It was not a problem, because obviously the game ran out 3-1, right? So you can't say it's a problem, so to speak. But again, that's where, I guess, for them, if they were to look at and analyze the game, that's probably where they would be like, okay, we will get joy in these kind of areas. It's what we do after that point. And I think that's where Milan kind of failed, at times. And again, with Fofana and big up Fofana, with Fofana and Loftus-Cheek in the middle there, I just felt like they were just getting the better of Liverpool at times. Yes, we, like I said, after the 16th, 17th minute or whenever it was, we had that shot. After that point, we started to gain a bit more control. But it's almost like what we were starting to realize, which we realized kind of early in the game, is we could always play out wide. So you could see Salah, mostly Gakpo, to be fair, not so much Salah, but it was like Salah and Gakpo, they had the space out wide, mostly on that right-hand side, So I don't know if it was, again, you could see that Milan were kind of defending quite compact in the middle. So maybe that's why our midfield just couldn't really play, because it's almost like they realized, all right, well, Liverpool's midfield, they want to play through the third. They want to build up through that middle of the park, because then that's when they can start creating these angles and, passing lanes and etc. Now, all of these players are starting to run wild and stuff like that. But they were just snuffing that out. So the ball for Trent was always get it out to Gakpo. And then obviously it's then down to Gakpo, who I thought had an excellent game. It was really down to him to kind of, can you beat your man? Can you get the ball into the box? But at the beginning, like I said, it just wasn't really running for me. But listen, man, I just feel that, over the period of time in the game, like I said, we were starting to get control. I felt Szoboszlai was really good. I know a lot of people weren't really feeling his performance. And again, we'll talk about it in a sec. But yeah. It was all in all 7.5 type of performance from Liverpool, potentially even an 8. Yeah, 7.5, 8. You pick your poison between the two. But yeah, man, it was decent. It was decent. Big up the real McCoy. Love for the super chat, bro. Appreciate that, man. Majorly. Don't be biased now. Talk about Jota isn't a starter. Stinker after stinker from the start of the season. For country 2, Maka starts every game. Bro, we're getting, we just started the stream, bro. Big up for the super chat, by the way. I do appreciate it. Come on, man. Supporting the channel, man. You know I love that shit. But yeah, bro, we're just getting there. I just wanted to give a general overview of the game first. And then, like I said, there was players I was going to talk about. Jota is one of those players. Just so that you don't think I'm not going to speak about him, Jota is one of those players. All right, so we'll get to it now. But like I said, love and appreciation for the super chat. Let's talk about it then. Let's talk about the first player first. So the first player I've got here is Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, the reason why I've got Szoboszlai up here is, and I think I'll do a video, you know, like, you know, I'll do a show, and we can chop it up a bit more, right? So I'll just talk about it in reference to yesterday's game. I felt Szoboszlai had a good game. Defensively, offensively, he got a goal. I thought all round, it was a proper number 8 midfielder's performance, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm not saying you have to disagree, agree, whatever. That's obviously down to you. But I just felt like he had a good game. He was involved in all facets, yes. And I just need to caveat this so that when we get to the ratings, by the way, people don't, you know, think I'm not going to keep saying this. First 15 minutes, last 10 minutes of anybody who played 90 minutes, by the way, was crap. So just a caveat in case you think I'm talking. No, first 15 minutes, last 10 minutes, they were, in my opinion, Liverpool were poor, they were crap, they were whatever. So apply that to any player who played 90 minutes, by the way. But in regards to the 65 minutes, I felt that the team played really, really well. I thought that he was one of the main components. And in my opinion, I still feel like he's Liverpool's most valuable midfielder. I don't think you can really get him out of the team because I just don't see a world. Big up Ali in the building. I don't see a world where you're going to get another midfielder who can do the job that Szoboszlai does. Now, this, and again, it's like I don't want to talk too much about it, but obviously the role that he's been asked to do, and I asked this on Enzo's show the other day, the role that he's been asked to do, right, is that a role that we didn't expect him to do because we know of his other talents. We know of the other things that he can do, right? In terms of on the ball, ball striking ability, the way he can drive the ball at times, and, you know, all of that kind of good stuff, right? And obviously, you go back to, if you want to check the stats and stuff like that, he scores goals, he gets assists, and, you know, all of that kind of good stuff, right? So is that because we've looked at him, whoever Klopp, obviously, when he signed him, saw something. So last season, he was playing in that, what we're going to call the Hendo role, right? But then this season, he's kind of doing the same thing, just not as much in terms of having to cover, for example, for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now he's actually just more sitting in midfield. Yes, he comes back, he defends, he'll get himself forward, as we saw with the goal, but he's also just helping out in that, you know, in that attacking third. Are we almost misprofiling him as fans, just as fans? Because obviously we don't know what their man, you know, saw in Szoboszlai. Like, it's clearly something different, right? Because he's not playing the same role as he was, you know, at RB Leipzig, or the same role that he plays, you know, for Hungary. So is it just a case of we've looked at it and maybe just misprofiled him a little piece? That's why people are always scrutinizing his performance, because again, I don't know what it was, but for me, I just thought the performance was good. Maybe obviously loose touches every now and again. I get all of that. I hear it. I fully hear it. There was a couple loose touches here and there, fair enough. Couple passes he didn't make, yeah, fair enough. Cool. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But no one made, to my knowledge anyway, no one made 100% pass success rate. I don't think so anyway. So, you know what I mean? If that's the case, then I am looking at it thinking, well, if no one made 100% success rate in terms of their passing, then is it that bad? Like, was he, you know, that way off in terms of the passing and stuff like that? I thought, again, defensive work was really, really good. Like I said, after that point of that first 15 minutes, it was because of players like him in the middle of the park that Milan were just, you could see they were dropping a little bit deeper and deeper, which is obviously their own problem. But because they kept dropping deeper, we were having a lot more joy. And also, we were cutting alongside Gravenberch and McAllister, by the way. It wasn't just Szoboszlai, but all three of them, they were finding it a bit easier to then intercept some of these passes. Now, Milan weren't just cutting through like, you know, knife through butter, hot knife through butter. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, yeah, man, it's one of those. Like, and I just felt like the way that people were slandering, you know, Szoboszlai during the game, I was like, right, like Gravenberch's PR must be at an all-time high right now, and Liverpool fans are really good at doing stuff like that. Like we'll like in terms of in our own fan base, right? We're really good at making sure or trying to elevate someone's PR level and making people believe certain things about players when it might not even be there. Not to say that it might not even be true, but it might not be as crazy. Like I'm seeing people talk about like Rude. I know it's just tongue in cheek and just jokes and that, but I'm seeing like the Rude Hullet, Seedorf comparisons of like Gravenberch, and then man are calling Szoboszlai a bum. I was like, nah, what game were people watching? Like, but then again, I don't know if it's just a thing of, is it just because we don't understand ourselves, the role? Because like I didn't understand the role of Szoboszlai when he first came. I was like, bro, why are you getting him doing Henderson dog work and that when this is the guy I've seen rocket from near the halfway line, slap free kick top bins and stuff like that. Like I'm seeing all of that kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel some people being a bit too harsh with Szoboszlai. I felt he was probably. We'll get into the ratings. I'm not even going to say it. We'll get into the ratings when it does come to that. Reverend saying Zobo stunk it up. That goal in bailing him out. Massively disagree. Like I said, again, it's just opinions, right? I don't want to argue with anyone's opinions. If you feel that he stunk it up, fairs. I have to. I hear it. For me, I definitely disagree. I really I really can't say that he stunk it up, to be honest. He was one of the reasons why, in my personal opinion, alongside other players, of course, but there were a few individuals I felt anyway, who were pivotal to that game. And without them, I don't think Liverpool are winning the game as comfortably. Not saying we won't win, just don't think it would have been as comfortable in there. Because in my head, I'm thinking, well, who else would have played in there? What, Jones, Endo? Yeah, they're not doing that role. I can tell you for free, they're definitely not doing that role. Szoboszlai was calm yesterday, bro. Don't get tired. Bro, don't get tired. The Belgian commentator said he will run even in his sleep. 100%. 100%. Hussam didn't like... Big up Hussam. That's my guy. Hussam's my guy. But he don't like a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? He don't like a lot of people. But big up Hussam. The Bournemouth game will be a better test for us as Milan were trash. Yesterday was a given win for me. Let's see. Let's see what happens if we beat Bournemouth 7-0. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, will that change people's mind? Get me a Musiala in the 10 and you'll forget Zobo in a millisecond. First of all, you're playing on my heartstrings because you know I would love to have Musiala in the team. But Musiala won't do the same role as Szoboszlai. If you get Musiala in the team, you're not going to ask him to do the same things. Musiala can't do what Szoboszlai does. That's the problem. I.e., we need you to be an engine in the midfield. Musiala isn't that type of player. Not to say that he couldn't necessarily do it to a certain degree, but he's not that type of player. He's really not. He hasn't got an engine anywhere close to a Szoboszlai. I've seen him gas out in games. This is a player I'd really love for us to sign, but that's further forward of the pitch. I'm not looking at him. It depends. Like I said, is it the role that we're asking of Szoboszlai? Like I said, I'll do a show on it anyway. We'll do a show. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday. I'll 100% do a show because I really want to know. Like, I just think we are, as fans, we're just misprofiling what we're expecting him to do. Now, where I agree with you, yes. Like I said, certain times when he's not passing the ball and stuff like that, I think, what is it, 80% passing accuracy, 37 out of 46, key passes in the game. He got 3 shots on target in the game. Dribble, not really great, 4 attempts. Only 1 successful. Ground duels, 4-1. Possession lost 16 times. Offsides, 1. Yeah, for me, I just felt like it was just calm. Yeah, I think it was just calm, to be honest with you. G sounds like talking about. Wow, what did N say? What did N say yesterday? Tell me, what did N say yesterday, bro? See, I didn't watch the first part of the call-in show. See, I probably missed What was he? Was he? Was Enz for a shade? By the way, guys, you after the stream you will be redirected to Enz's show. I think it's the Chill Zone. I believe it's at 12:30, but you'll be redirected there anyway. So I'll be listening. By the way, I'll be fully listening, just in case there was something I missed in that. Yeah, I'm trying to say. Someone got to be the scapegoat. Yeah, for real. For real. Yeah. Milan had no coordinated press. Let's be real here. If we give away the ball in the final third like that against Madrid, we'll be bro. This is why I say I'm only trying to just rate the game. But yes, against other teams, Angel, 100%. Come on, man. This is Madrid. Like what? You think Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Endrick, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Valverde, all these guys are going to just let you get away with some of the stuff that we was doing? No way. You have to play a different type of game around. Like you can't have that first 10, 15 minutes against those guys. I feel like they would start it. Like if they played the same way, bro, I don't see Liverpool winning that game. Do you get? But again, the opponents was AC Milan last night, and that's a different kind of game. Hold up, before we played Milan, all I heard was Milan are in form, and now it's Milan stink. Yeah. Honestly, you already know the vibes, man. You already know the vibes. Big up Gary, man. Hope you're doing well. Well. I told you, Milan are terrible defensively. Yeah, you did. Big up Savage in the building. Hope you're blessed, my bro. Kingsman, big up, man. Big up. Kanate was elite. Yeah, we will talk about him in the ratings. Let's move on to the next player anyway. But like I said, guys, I'll do a show on Szoboszlai because I do think that, yeah, I just think that there's something in there. There's something in there, and I don't really understand it. But listen, I'd love to chop up with you guys, and maybe we can get to the bottom of all of this anyway. The other player I wanted to talk about was Gakpo. I thought, without giving too much away before my ratings and stuff, I thought he was immense. I felt like for someone who hasn't started a game this season, for someone who, for me anyway, I've looked at him and thought, I don't know about Gakpo, and especially if you're not starting games and stuff like that, a great way to show the gaffer and myself, that, I'm still here, is putting a performance like that at the stand. So I was I was impressed. Like I was actually I was sat there, I was like, nah, Gakpo is like his intent when he dribbles. And the thing is, I've seen games obviously like this. And again, like I said, I can only rate the game, right? But I've seen him have games like that where his intent running at Calabria, just making the Milan defense just shook at certain points. He was our best attacker by a country, like no other attacker was remotely close. Let's put it that way. They weren't even close to Gakpo in terms of the performance. Salah, Jota, Nunez, whoever else came on, they weren't even close to Gakpo. Like he was the threat. And like I said, Trent playing those passes into Gakpo, it was just smart business. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Salah was, Salah was doing Salah stuff, like he was over there. But Gakpo, he was the one I kept looking. Every time he got the ball, I was like, oh, he's gonna cook Calabria. I'm not saying, listen, don't care how good or bad Calabria or how good or bad you think he was cooking, man, constantly. There was only maybe like one or two times, that maybe Calabria, I think, got the ball or something like that. But outside of that, nah, man, he was on job. He was on job, man. And I liked his work anyway, down that left-hand side, at times. Yes, defensively, I do think, yeah, I feel like that's where Diaz might get the edge in terms of if that's what you're looking for from your left winger. But when you need a level of intent, now, obviously, both players, Diaz and Gakpo, are crap when it comes to low blocks, by the way. They ain't going to help you. Hence why you probably need another type of player, right? But in this game anyway, against a team like Milan, who at first were trying to push us a little bit high, trying to find those pockets of space, as we saw with the Pulisic goal, trying to push a little bit higher up. Yeah, when you've got Gakpo in that kind of form and in those kind of positions, yeah. Gakpo was moving mad. He was moving mad still. Mo bit unlucky. Yeah, we can do the unlucky thing, but you didn't score. You know what I'm saying? We can do that all day, but he didn't score. You know what I'm saying? And Mo, I need you to score. Gakpo was great, but against Calabria, I'm expecting him to. Yeah. This is what I said. I can only judge what you're playing against at the end of the day. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I can't. It's still Milan at the end of the day. Like what else can man do? The reality is, I'm trying to think of all the right backs that maybe Dallo. I'm trying to think who has Diaz faced this season. Dallo. Yeah, they're all, you know what I mean? No one's playing against like Carl Walker and Reece James and all of these other guys. At the end of the day, you can only come up against what you come up against, right? So yeah, for me, listen, I thought he cooked down that side, real threat, and he was Liverpool's best attacker, you know, on the pitch. G ends with hella prop for Gravel while throwing heavy shade on the man he calls help. Well, that is yeah. Listen, man. Like I said, let people say what they want to say. What can I do? What can I do, man? It's always like that. It's always like that, man. It's always like that. But yeah. But listen, Gravenberch was calm. Don't think he was our best player, but he was definitely calm in the game. Yeah. We'll get to the ratings anyway. We'll get to the ratings. Big up, Doug, guys. Please make sure, and Michael talks as well. Silly me. I think you'll find Michael's channel in my feature channel list anyway. So make sure you subscribe to both Michael Talks and the Doug Out Football channel, please. Hi G, got to beat what's in front of you. That is a poor Milan side, but to dominate like we did. Gravenberch, our most improved player so far. Yeah. 100%. First 5 games, he's definitely been a very different player than what we saw. What I liked about last night was Gakpo went down the outside for the assist instead of cutting in. Yeah, but then he was also cutting in at times. You know, getting the way you see when he shoots. Yeah, you know, like when Diaz shoots, sometimes like Diaz has got like a shot. The way like he's got a way of shooting, right? It's like a bit of a curler at times. He wants to try and find that far post, right? Which is calm. No, you know what I mean? No problems. You know, no whatever. But the way that's it. Oh, here, give me 2 sets. Sorry, give me 2 sets, people. Let me send this. Yeah, sorry. The way that just have to send the link out. The way that Gakpo shoots sometimes, it is true. The brother could, but he's always been able to do that. This is what I'm saying, which is probably why it frustrates at times when we're watching Gakpo, because you're kind of like, brother, I need this consistently. Now, what I keep saying to people and what I keep trying to stress to people is that, and obviously this is going to actually come into the next player we're going to talk about anyway, we need to start understanding that one game doesn't, or shouldn't, let me say, one game shouldn't change your way of thinking when you think about players. One game shouldn't change that. I'm sorry. If it does, then you need to start reevaluating the way that you're looking at players and the way that you're, talking about, certain players and certain teams and stuff like that, right? So when I'm thinking about it, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, the way that people spoke yesterday after yesterday's game, the first thing I saw was Gakpo's got to start the next game. Gakpo should be our left winger from now on. But guys, hold on though. We just sat here for the first 4 games of the season and said Diaz is our left winger. We just said that. So how all of a sudden now it's Gakpo? Diaz ain't done nothing wrong, by the way. Diaz has been calm these 4 games. All of a sudden, Gakpo had an immense game last night. All of a sudden, it's Gakpo's got to be our left winger now. He is the guy. Guys, we can't keep like I want like guys here in the community. Big up everybody who comes to GTV. Big up everybody who goes to Enza's channel, to Jerry's channel, to Savage's channel, to Michael Talks' channel, to Doug's channel, to whoever. Everyone's channel, Quasi's channel. We need to create a community here so that we can filter it onto like the social media guys, because yeah, bro. Big up Jerry, by the way. Big up the gaffer inside. Like, it's annoying me, Jerry. It's annoying me. We cannot keep flip-flopping between players every single freaking match week. It's annoying. Every single time someone has a good performance, it's like, he's got to start. He has to be the guy. Why isn't Slot playing this guy? Man was slating Robbo. Simicast has a poor game. Yeah, this is why I've always said Robbo is the guy. No, guys, I've got the tapes. We've got the tapes. We've literally got the tapes. I'm so happy that Enza's got the judge show, because I'm gonna have to start, sending out subpoenas to a lot of people, because it's not making no sense. We literally said, man, we're ready to sell Robbo for some change. For some change. Big man thing. And then all of it, again, same thing, just before I bring in our next guest. Same thing happened with Kwanzaa and Konate. Kwanzaa done nothing wrong. Didn't have the greatest of halves against Ipswich, but I promise you, I don't even think he was the worst player that we had. Slot decided to take him off, obviously because he wanted something different. He wanted a different type of threat, so to speak, in the back there, or a different kind of defender, should I say, at the back to deal with what was going on, in terms of Ipswich and Delap and all that kind of stuff. All of a sudden, man are ready to throw Kwanzaa to the trash. These times, man were telling me in the summer, bro, Kwanzaa's probably like one of the best young centre-backs out there, What? Bradley didn't have a great game yesterday against Nottingham Forest. Didn't have the greatest game. Yes, we know Hudson-Odoi had his number. I promise you, had his number. And he was dialing man on withheld every day. Bugging, man. Absolutely bugging, man. Man are ready to throw Bradley to the wolves. Guys, we can't keep this flip-flopping thing, man. We can't, it's not healthy, man. It's just not healthy, bro. It's really not healthy, man. Like, I honestly, at times, I just don't, I personally just don't really understand it. Like, why do we move, you know what I mean, like this? At times, man. Big up Savage in the building, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry, I had to just get that rant. Just for I didn't want you to come in on a bad, you know what I'm saying? I just get that. But Savage, obviously we talk about this all the time, and it's just annoying. And you see it as well, because we always speak about this. The way that people flip-flop with their opinions on players is crazy. Off of one result, by the way. And you said this, I said this when you and Enz did the call-in after the Nottingham Forest game. And I said, I'm only here just to hear what people are saying. Yeah. I don't even have nothing to say on it. I just want to know what people are saying. And I'm coming in and I'm hearing people saying that was the worst game they've ever seen at Anfield. Or I'm hearing people say that was the worst performance I'm like, what? Well, I've seen us lose to better teams than Nottingham Forest, at Anfield. And that was the worst you've ever seen.
Yeah, someone said yesterday. Yesterday the AC Milan game was the best game they've seen since we won the league. But I said 5 years, bro. Americans had another president since then, bro. You crazy, bro? What are you talking about?
Come on, bro.
He's extreme. I told you, bro. These men are extremists, bro.
Jerry, don't even start me on the Zabozalai regen thing.
Oh, Hungarian Stevie.
The Hungarians, Jesus Christ, it's long. Ends rubbing off. Nah. If anything, it's probably actually more the other way, actually, to be fair, when it comes to that. But I think I'm just getting before the season started. And obviously, I want to get Savage's opinion, by the way, on the game. Yeah. I'll end the rant here, right? Before the start of the season, one of the main things that people kept saying to each other, both online in the stands, like people go to the games, I speak to them, and they all told me the same thing, which is it's a new manager. We're under a new kind of regime, new kind of style of playing, etc., right? So we do need to give this manager time just to let him implement his kind of, thoughts and style and how he wants the team to play. Yeah. We, myself, Savage, Enz on Enz's channel, we spoke about players being given another chance. They're for some players, their last chance this season because it's a new manager. Let's just see what happens. And then if you want to dash man out, we can dash man out. No worries. 5 games in, man are ready to throw some of these players to the wolves. Guys, you've got me defending Nunes the other day because I'm like, how are you, man, getting onto Nunes in the Forest game when Donny didn't have anything to get onto?
Yeah, that's
great. Get it like that, and that's how I'm starting. That's how I know it's gone too far because I've had to go and defend Nunes. So that's how I know we've gone too far now. That's how I fully know we've gone too far. Because you got me defending Nunes now.
Bro, I was out here defending Klopp and Pep Linders' memory like he was my dead dad, blood. My dad ain't dead, by the way, but I'm just saying. Because I'm like, yo, how is Klopp getting the blame for Nottingham winning, blood? What the fuck?
Bro, the amount of people that kept telling me Klopp. I said, guys, our manager is called Arne Slot, not crazy. Jurgen Klopp. So Klopp has nothing to do with what's going on here. Nothing to do with what's going on here. The only thing he has to do is these are his players. That is it. But we're under a new manager who's playing a different style of football. Not too dissimilar, but he's playing a different style of football. Place your blame on the new manager. Stop talking about the old manager, the old regime, etc., etc. Anyways, rant is done now. Let's move on. Savage, talk to me about the game.
I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it. It wasn't perfect, but I wasn't expecting it to be. I probably lost my head for the first 10 minutes. I ain't gonna lie, but they're pissing me off.
Yeah, same. I said that. Yeah, I said that.
But because the rest of the game was so good, I kind of went past that. You get me? It was one of them. Mistakes happen. I always notice a few things when goals get scored and we're looking for, you always want to look for the reason why the other team scored the goal and how they was able to do that. But I always notice that if their favorite players involved in that play, they only have to blame the one dude on it. So man were cooking Shimikas and that. And I was like, listen, I don't know about you, man, bro, but Virgil went missing. This geezer, and I said this, I've said it in every stream so far, because it's the first time I seen him do was against Brentford, and he stepped into midfield and missed it. He missed the ball, and then they ran off. But obviously, I think somebody covered him. Then I seen him do it against Nottingham, and he missed then as well. And then they went on a break. And then he did it again, brother. And I'm like, okay, Shimikas missed it. He tried to go for a duel. He lost that in a duel. People lose duels all game, innit? But when you watch where the ball goes, I'm like, Gravenberch is already standing there with the man. So why is Virgil leaving his man to step in there, bro? And he missed. And then my man just had a big space to run into. And obviously, you know, Shimikas, blah, 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 but whatever. I was glad that we scored from set piece, especially because in the preview show, he literally just said in the preview show, we need to score from more set pieces. Because, I mean, you said it in the call-in about Virgil and might have been kind of stinky at it, considering.
And look what happens.
Don't get me wrong, though. I won't go over the top of it, because it wasn't like it was some great Liverpool play. The man that just stood there. If anything, they stood in one spot and scored. They didn't really move around much at all. It was just more like, oh, you man are trying to push us out of the way and you can't, so we just won the header. It weren't like some Brentford-style FIFA corner where the man ran from outside the box and then someone signalled. Nah, it was just... So, but I'm glad they scored that. I thought, all in all, I don't think anyone had a big stinker yesterday. I think some players are obviously better than others. I thought like the Dutch boys were really good. Apart from when Virgil stepped out, I feel like the Dutch youths were pretty good. I'm with you as well. I think I had Gakpo as my best player, and he seemed to grow into the game even more. And I swear, man, like I said in the preview, when I was talking about the team changing and stuff, I said this is good for Gakpo because he's the player that needs to start games, but he can't. That impacting with somebody who moves like Gakpo is not really a thing. But unless you're going to put him front and pass the ball in, he's always got one of the best shots in the team. When it's, you know what I mean. So otherwise, from that, you expect him man to come on. He doesn't. It's not like he's fast enough, but he's not blistering pace where he's going to inject this energy into the game. So you need him to start, man. And as you saw when he starts, bro, and he gets comfy and he starts dribbling. For such a tall youth, but his close control dribbling's kind of cold still. He just sends, man, bro. So I thought he was good. I think the team as a whole, they were gelling in times, and then sometimes it was a bit sloppy. I'm with you with the Sobo thing, but I didn't understand. You know, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen because you're in the middle of a watch along. So I'm assuming that when I get off and check what's everyone talking about, they're going to be talking about just the victory and not. But I'm like, rah, Sobo again. What the fuck, bro? Like,
bro,
he's crazy. I didn't even think he was the worst guy in the Nottingham game, bro. But that's the
same thing I said. I said Salah was way worse than him, bro.
Exactly. And then in this game, I was like, listen, don't get me wrong. In the watch, I was like, I kept saying he's having a decent game, but he's obviously. I'm always going to have an issue with his 5-yard passing, bro. And I was obviously making some jokes because he was playing like he had tight hamstrings. Like he kept doing this over. You know when you're in school and that you want the girls to kick the ball back and that they do the overstretch thing. That's why he kept doing that. So, but apart from that, I thought he was good. And I'm with you, bro. Like he needs to be in the team, innit? So whether they want to do the proper 10 thing and maybe shift McAllister up there and put him further back, do that if that's the case. But he has to play. Yeah, man. Apart from that, I thought it was good. And then obviously Ali had his his traditional run out the goal for no reason and glitch moment.
Bro, and the pass was so perfect to Abraham, by the way. That was like a perfect pass into his path. Like,
And then you had Abraham tried to threaten the young Oriental. What are you trying to threaten Wataru for no reason, bro?
I didn't. It was so dumb because he pointed at man like this, and I was like, bro, you're losing 3-1 in the 92nd minute, and we got like 4 minutes left. I beg you just go into the box.
Wataru gave him that anime Death Note stare through the chest, blood, didn't even blink or nothing. I said, yo, you better move away from Wataru, bro. He's about to kick your shins off, boy.
Hey, bro, these you ain't watched enough movies to know that Japanese and Chinese, man, not fighting with you.
I'm with you though, man. I thought the game was good, man. And I'm not trying to hear this off all everyone now, apart from Michael, because he mentioned it before, and I said the same thing about AC Milan. Everyone before the game weren't doing all this AC Milan's rubbish business. I ain't trying to hear now that we've won the game. Well, it's only AC Milan but Bournemouth. Like AC Milan's not better than Bournemouth. Relax,
bro. You'd think it was like, I know they wear the same kind of color kits and that, but Nah, I'm not trying to hear that, man. Jerry, chat to the people, man. Gaffer, you know what I'm
Big up, bro.
saying? What you saying, my boy?
What we saying?
I thought Jerry was AI blood. 'Cause I ain't seen his face for ages. I've seen
Bro,
Goldie.
I haven't seen his face page. It
Mm.
was only the other day that I was speaking to you, bro. But chat to me. But obviously, we was chatting in the group, obviously, and obviously, who was it? Ish, Roms, Saint, all of you. I need you. I'm gonna start sending out subpoenas to every single one of you because the way that these men were talking about Zabozalai in the chat. Any, by the way, you're not excluded. The way they were talking about him was a bit mad, but just in regards to the game in itself, bro, like how did you find it?
Professional.
Mm.
Like I don't know, innit? Maybe I've changed because I don't stream anymore and I'm coaching Bears, innit? But there's something to be said for, of course, not got a goal down every single game, but you go a goal down after like a bad loss against Nottingham Forest where you were expected to win. And you know, all hell could have broke loose, innit? You could have just you could have went all gung ho and conceded in the next one. Instead, ¿qué pasó, Michael? Todo bien, dímelo. But cool. That's enough Spanish. But what I'm saying is, there's something to be said for a team that's, yeah, I mean, not under pressure, but obviously losing it's Nottingham Forest, concedes at the San Siro very, very early on, to just try and go for the equalizer and get caught on the counter. And now you're 2-0 down and it's looking a bit like bad. Do you know what I mean? Especially at the San Siro. Liverpool controlled that game for me, man. And I know people are saying, but Szoboszlai, the pass was dead and the touch is baggy and Gravenberch overhit this pass. You're going to get that in a game, innit? At times, not everyone's going to be on 100%. But what I mean for me, from my perspective, it was a good team performance in where there was no panic. There was no panic from anyone. You didn't look around when they scored, and you looked at Virgil's face like, oh my God, like we're finished. Like I remember when we conceded against Real Madrid, the look on their faces when that goal went in, it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. This one was just like, calm, cool. We're just going to still play our game. We're still going to, the game plan that was set out is still going to be the same. We're not changing it. And you just knew that over time, okay, they're going to concede, and they're going to. I mean, AC Milan are going to concede, and you can just see the way, obviously, Liverpool started to go and play. I was really impressed, man. Again, I'm just happy with the control Liverpool have, man. It's the control of games, like even against Nottingham Forest. Like, yeah, you might get caught here and there, and of course, the longer you go on without scoring, you're more likely to concede as well. It's just the way football is. But Liverpool are controlling games like I haven't seen in a long time. Like I don't sit there and I'm not worried that every chance they're gonna go and score. It's like, nah, like cool. We marshaled Leao really well. They had a lot of threats, dealt with it really well, and on top of that, created a lot of chances. When you think about it, Salah hit the bar, we hit the post again. We had, Gakpo put in a couple crosses that, a bit more to the left, a bit more to the right, we could potentially go and finish. Szoboszlai get into right positions, and all of a sudden you look at it and you're like 3-1 at the San Siro. Calm. Set pieces, we're a threat, and that's what you need to be. When you're a threat at set pieces, you strike more fear into the opposition. So now I'm happy with how Liverpool played. Yeah, exactly. Michael talk saying only 2 shots on target conceded. Like that's like people don't deep that. Like to do that at pro football, right, is crazy. Considering, you're the players you're coming up against are like Leao and stuff. That's supposed to be the best of the best. That this is a guy that's supposed to, that people wanted to replace Diaz, if I recall, in the summer. So like, look, I'm happy, I'm cool, and that's about it, man. Like I think it was a comfortable evening, man. Again, 4 out of 5 games so far, 4 out of 5 games that have been very, very comfortable.
Yeah,
good,
right.
man. I'm calm with it.
Nice. I couldn't say it better myself. Both Savage and Jerry, man, they've kind of epitomized it there. But yeah, I agree. At the end of the day, we can't. It's just for me. It's just about moving the goalposts, with certain things. And I think we're not spending enough time analyzing games. We're too busy trying to almost analyze everything as a whole. So when Liverpool had won the first 3 games of the season, it was, yeah, you know what? In May, we're going to win 4 trophies. We're on, and I'm like, whoa, let's just slow a roll there, just a little bit. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Let's just keep going the way that we're going. Lose to Nottingham Forest. This team isn't even good enough for top 4. How can you go from you think we're going to win 4 trophies to we're not even good enough for the top 4? That's like a massive jump in performance levels in one game that for people to kind of have. So yeah, man. I agree. I felt like there was 65 minutes of that game. I just felt Liverpool were in total control. And once we got the kind of foothold of the game, Milan couldn't do nothing, man. Like I said, the Reinders, Loftus-Cheek, the Fofanas and stuff like that, Pulisic. They were finding pockets of space. They were being kind of bullies in the midfield at the beginning, and they were bypassing our midfield quite easily at the beginning. But once we kind of just, I don't know, it's almost like we just need a time to just get into the game almost. Like, okay, now we understand what they're trying to do. Maybe whatever the game plan we thought they were going to do, they didn't do. So we had to almost think on our feet. Once that happened, I felt like, yeah, Liverpool were just, it was kind of game over from that point, to the point where when it got to half time, I could tell Milan were like, thank fuck it's half time and it's only 2-1. Like, thank God it's only 2-1
We didn't let them
time.
breathe much, innit? Because when we came out for the second half, as soon as we kicked off, we went straight back at them. We nearly scored, bro. And they not rattled them.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And facts, Doug, by the way, it is a Premier, like, what you think if they didn't have that same team in the Premier League, they wouldn't box bare teams? Come on, man. I think people are just being silly now.
I think you have times where teams just play very poor, and then you have times where you have to kind of big up your own team and go, nah, you forced them into playing like that, bro, because clearly for the first 10 minutes they were playing good. So yeah, you just forced them into doing it, man, and put them on the back foot a little bit. It's not wrong with that. It doesn't always have to be you can't big up our players and have to be on this pessimist thing because the other team's shit. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Savage Pop's got a question for you. Do you think VVD is being asked to be more aggressive? I think this is to go back to what you were saying about the whole stepping out.
I feel like he's probably taking it upon himself to do it a little bit more. But the thing is, when he gets it right, he looks like masterful, and it's like flipping eyes, bulldoze this dude and that. But my point is just, obviously you pick and choose when you need to do that, man. And I just felt like he bypassed Gravenberch to try and step in to get the ball there, and he didn't need to. He just really didn't need to, and it just left like, now you and Gravenberch are right next to each other, and Pulisic is in behind both of us, bro. That's it. But apart from that, and he has to learn. Obviously, Slot seems to want the Trent and Robbo or Trent and Tsimikas to tuck in it. So there's a big space in that left back area, bro. So you stepping up there is crazy, bro. There's literally just a big gap for the person to run into. So that's all it is, man. But
I think it depends how you look at it, because if I hear your point 100%, and obviously it didn't work, like the timing was a bit off. But if Slot requires the centre backs to step up there, right?
Yeah.
At times, what some coaches like to do, right, is if you have a player that's going to press, it's very similar to like a press. If he's jumping the gun, right?
Yeah.
You're expecting that even if the guy beats that press and plays the pass like rapidly, because of the timing, it's going to be overhit or underhit, and that's where you've got your keeper sweeping up. So I saw a couple of times where Morata dropped really, really deep, and the verge of old against Klopp would just let him go there and just wait for the team to kind of come back. It's like Slots told them, nah, I need you to step into midfield. So even in the Forest game, I saw him going mad deep. Like, it's like you got to follow your man, because what I think Slot doesn't want,
that's Morata's position in
Morata, exactly. But I think what he doesn't want is one of the forwards to go and have time to go and turn in those areas. And if Gravenberch is trying to cut off passing lanes, you have to be the one that steps with the man, because even though Gravenberch is there, if Morata turns, Gravenberch might not even have time to even get out to him, because he's trying to watch where the ball's going and try to stop that ball because he's trying to press up. So it's just a couple times he done it and it worked, didn't it? But
that is a good point. It's not like I wanted to stop and do it either. It's just sometimes it's a timing issue on it. But he's definitely a little bit more aggressive, because I think there was a point in the Nottingham game, it weren't something big, but I seen him like slide to intercept the ball. And I was like, okay, I never see that from him.
Never seen that, exactly. So I just feel like, again, he's. I know we think of like Liverpool and the changes that are going through Liverpool, always focused on like the midfield and maybe even the forward areas, and we're playing with a 10 now or whatnot. But you got to think about what the defenders are having to do as well, and it's completely different from what Klopp would have expected, where Virgil was marshalling everything from the back. Now you've got someone that he's going to have to be a bit more aggressive. I think even on the ball, you look at Virgil, I've never seen him zip the ball into midfield as much as he has done. In his whole Liverpool career for Klopp, compared to like the 5 games. I'm just like, well, I know you had this in your locker. Why didn't you do it before? It's the whole idea of like, you want the midfield to go and play in it. You want to play through teams. If you play through teams, you've got to be a bit brave on the ball. And I think that's where, again, you're going to see some of Virgil's passing maybe go off sometimes. Maybe the touch will be bad from certain players because it's a risky pass. When you're zipping it in like that, the touch has to be perfect. And a couple of times it is going to go baggy. A couple of times it is going to be misplaced.
Yeah, of course.
But it's the risk that Slot wants to play with, innit? As opposed
we are seeing ball carrying Virgil a little bit more as well, because against Nottingham, we see him carry the ball top of the pitch and that. It's true. Probably have to do another show on it because I was going to say to I know you're going to do that show on Sabazala, but I don't know if man saw Trent's interview on CBS with like Mika Richards and all that.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I was listening.
Yeah. So I want to go show on it because the point he made about when they asked him about his role now, and obviously that role as well, and he was basically getting at like, now the way we've been training in scenarios and stuff like that, it's not like I get given the instruction to play like this and that's how it stays. It's like, in training, we've literally gone through all these different scenarios, what the other team's going to do. And if they do that, my position changes. And he mentioned, like, I might be a right back. I might be a right-sided 8. Then he said I might be a high right winger. I was like, rah, okay. So it explains a little bit more because obviously I heard man waffling on the weekend talking about, I don't know what Trent and Robbo's doing. They're just running around out of space. I'm like, there's no way you think a manager's going to let man just do that and not say anything, because you would take him off the pitch. So it's interesting to see how he was saying it still. But yeah, man, good coaching, bro.
No, it's true, man. It's true, and yeah, it's what. Yeah, we definitely need to have more conversations on these kind of things, and I guess maybe just with more time of watching Arne Slot and seeing what he wants individual players to do in certain positions. I think that's when we might just understand as fans, oh, okay, now I get why Virgil does that. Oh, now I get why Trent plays in, that position. But the reality is, I don't think it even should take Trent coming out and speaking on it. Like, I know they asked him the question about it. I know he just come out with it. But I don't feel like we needed to even hear that. Not to say you need to understand it, because we're not all going to get that straight away. Like, even I didn't understand all of that until he said it, right? But it's all about, let's just wait first. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like we're just not waiting for anything, and we're just quick to say, as you said, people coming out saying, "Bro, why was Trent and Robbo just
sometimes
doing?"
It's common sense doing it. Sometimes it's like when you look at it, you're watching the game going, I don't need Trent to say that, because clearly, Alisson's got the ball from a goal kick, and then all of a sudden I see Robbo in a certain position on the pitch where he's never at. It's not like there's something going on the pitch and he's just ended up there. He's literally gone straight into that spot, and Trent's gone straight into this spot. I'm like, you think that's him just doing what he wants? Does Robbo strike as someone who wants to like be up there scoring screamers and that, bro? It's obviously what the manager's told him to do, and clearly it was working, because we've lost one game, bro, like, and only conceded however many 2 goals or whatever, or 3 goals. So I don't know, man. Sometimes you just have to look at it instead of. I know everyone has these weird, I don't know what it is online and that, with these weird gay agendas and that. But just watch the game. Like, because you can't just keep going into matches with this preconceived idea of this one Don, and then you've just got a problem with him as soon as the game kicks off. Just watch the match, man.
No, it's true. It is true, man. Before we go into the ratings, and then we will head on out of here. Diogo Jota, man. Obviously, this is just my opinion. I feel that you've had enough games now for me to say I need someone else up front. The caveat, or the on the other side of the coin to that, I think he's the only striker that can do what Slot wants from his striker. Hence why he'll keep playing, and why Nunes will stay on the bench. Why Gakpo as a striker doesn't really work in what Slot wants him to do. Because in my head, I think to myself, I can only think of one game, maybe 2, that I would say, oh, he's performed well in whatever it is. I think that is right. In every other game, I thought, Jesus Christ, this brother. And last night was the same thing. I was like, I feel like you're not even occupying what I would have thought like defenders in a way which then would allow for Gakpo or a Salah to potentially get in behind and do whatever it is that they need to do. You're not even in the box when I need you in the box if you're going to play that role, kind of thing. It's also not like you're dropping deep enough to even help the midfield when we're getting overran at times, in that game. So then I'm sort of like, what are you doing then? Like, what are you actually, here for? Again, if I play the ball into feet, sometimes touches baggies, touches a bit loose and stuff like that. And, all of these kind of little various different things. What do we think of his performance, and what are we thinking of Jota moving forward? Or is it just just play him again kind of thing? Any one of you? So Jerry.
I'd just keep playing him, man. I think again, I don't know, maybe not being on stream has changed me, but I don't think Like
So you
people
seen the
that
light in that?
oh yeah, bruv. You come out, you open your pineal gland and you go on a retreat. You come back and you're different. I'm different, man. And I mean, at St. George's, I'm being indoctrinated in it by the FA and that. But no, like it's Jota does more, or the forward in a slot system does more, not a la Firmino, but does more than just expecting like, oh, with goals and he's gonna have a lovely touch and he's gonna be a 9 out of 10 every game and he needs to go and play. Like his movement and I think it's a bit not disingenuous, but I do think he occupies defenders. I think I disagree on that. I think his movement from left to right, dragging the centre backs, creates that space for Salah to go and get him behind. I think creates that space for Gakpo to do what he's doing, especially when Jota was coming down that line. I think his ability to go and play off 1 and 2 touch, spin it round the corner to Gakpo to give him time to get on the ball, to then drive in and do what he was doing is something that, as you said, in our team, we haven't got anyone that's going to go and do that. Gakpo's not great playing like that. Nunes is even worse. So it's like, unless you go and get the next best thing from wherever, and I don't even know who that is, I'm not even going to put a name out there. But if you go and look at it that way, he has to play because he's very important for the system. If you see where he drops in sometimes to get the ball, it's, I don't want to say Firmino-esque, but he is dropping quite deep. He's not just making runs in behind. All Nunes provides is runs in behind. And when the team is a bit, when the team's lacking that type of jinky little number 10-esque type of player, you're going to need your forward to go and do that. And Jota's, again, the profile that can do that. And that even if it's not an outside of the boot finish or that touch that he goes and gives to Nunes last season from the air when Nunes dinks the keeper, those basic things that he does to a consistent basis. Now, I know he didn't have the best game, but you go back to that Ipswich game right now, yeah? And in that game, I know he was taken off, but the idea that he's supposed to somehow create his own shot to create a chance, which I'm hearing from some people, is a bit mad, because in those situations when you've got like a low block, you really need someone that did what Jota does and stay on the last man and really just stay there. And you need a number 10 in those pockets. Instead, Liverpool play around it, or we played around it because we couldn't go and do it. And I think when you look, again, just to highlight, when you look at the personnel, Jota's the only one, man. Like, who are we going to play there? Nunes?
No, this is what I said. This is what I said. I 100% agree. It's at the moment, it's more better the devil you know, because the reality is the other two, I'm not trusting those two to do what Slot wants them to do. Because you're right, they do two different things. I think that's why Nunes is, when he comes on, he does look a little bit lost at times, just because of what I feel like whatever the manager's asking Nunes to do, either he don't get it, can't do it, won't do it, so you may as well just play someone else there. Hence why I felt like he went with Gakpo at first to go up front at the I think it was the first time he subbed. He took off Diogo Jota. He went with Gakpo instead of Nunes, and I was like, right, why wouldn't you have just gone with Nunes? Like, isn't he the striker that you was talking about? But bruv, he sees them in training every day, so he knows what they can and can't do.
The weird one, when he gets into the right spaces, a lot of times Nunes, his movement ain't that terrible, but then when he gets the ball at his feet, it's like, yeah, this is a waste of time.
But do you know what you say? We say he gets on the right spaces, but I think it's also like he gets the ball in space. Like, I think a couple of times as well, like I'm seeing him like on the edge of the box. Like against, I know we go back to Ipswich game, but I'm seeing him on the edge of the box asking for the ball. What you need to do is what Haaland's doing, and unfortunately, when a team's sitting back like that, you need something on the last man, and unfortunately, you need players that are going to find you in those pockets, zip it into you, touch, bang at your feet. That needs to be Nunes' bag. But unfortunately, he can't. The only thing he can do is running behind, right? Running behind if there's space. So if we're catching teams on a transition, great. If he's dropping in, he's not good at it either. So he's like a poor man's Vardy. Like that's what he is. All he does is that running behind. But when you're asking him to feed, he's not the best. Like when you're asking him to kind of just battle against like old school, like Giroud type of striker, what Zlatan would have done, or what, you can't do that either. So it's just a bit awkward at that point. And in terms of build up, it'd be 10 times worse if you had him there, because you're zipping it into him. And he's not, like, a couple of times, he say it out wide and cool, but it's not consistent enough. He's not consistent enough. So all of a sudden, his movement, his IQ, his understanding of just spatial awareness is poor. And that's just the be all and end all.
That's mad that you said Vardy still, because that's why I said last season when you said Vardy, I was like, when I was talking about what he should do to get better, I'm like, he needs to do what Vardy does, bro, in terms of when he's in front of goal, just rust the ball in it. Yeah, you are right. It's especially with Liverpool in the Premier, we come up against low blocks more often than not. And I said against a low block, it's pointless playing him at all, blood. It's gonna be like playing with 10 men in it. But what you're saying about Jota, I actually agree with pretty much everything Jerry said about Jota, to be honest. So, and I would still keep playing him. I feel like I said this before yesterday's game as well. He ain't really, because whoever's playing in the 10 ain't really doing the creative play from a 10. He's not really getting chances, bro. So then when he does get a chance, he's expected to just score that one chance, and that's it, bro. And then everyone's like, oh, you missed that chance in the game. Like, yeah, you got one chance, bro. Like, not every striker is going to be 1-in-1, bro. Sometimes it's, you get me, a bit more quantity on the shots and that. So, but as I said, I would rather our attacker occupy the box more than anything. We don't really cross the ball in at all unless Salah does a Trevella pass or Gakpo comes on the pitch. We don't cross the ball anymore. So then the striker's like, well, I'm not staying in the box then. What's the point, bro? Then they start floating around. It's a bit awkward, man. But obviously, I get what you mean, though. Jota does, I think, on the eye, and it's because he's not on the ball a lot of the times, it looks like he's gone ghost in the game and stuff like that. And I guess if you play like that and then score a goal, nobody cares because it's the number 9, isn't it?
I think as well, facts, Savage, and I think, not unfortunately, but the way, like, when you go and look at what Haaland does for City, right, and the people, or the fans or pundits, whoever, that talk about Haaland and look to try and find a weakness in his game, yeah, it's the fact that he doesn't get involved in build-up, the fact that he's not involved, he's not having touches of the ball, he's not helping draw players out in certain games. He has to stay like that because there needs to be someone that has the patience to, bruv, I'm standing here and it's calm. I might have to wait 30 minutes, but when the ball comes and touch, shot and bang, and in our team, the only player that we know can finish on a consistent basis like that is Jota. Like, yeah, you look at it there and he had 2 shots in the whole game. I think I saw the stat. He had 1 on target, 1 off target. And that's it. So, do you know what I mean? In those situations, that's where, when you go and look at Liverpool, we do miss that type of Coutinho-esque player, the Erdegaard, this type of player that can help break down those certain teams, because ultimately we have creative players in the pitch, but they create in a different way. So Trent's not the greatest at that. He's mad creative, but he's not like that. Salah's not like that as well. He's always on outside of the block. Who's standing in that in between when there's a low block, right? The 6-yard box and an 18-yard box. Who's standing in that pocket that can receive the ball in a half turn and just flick it around the corner into someone for a shot and have that understanding? Last season was
McAllister. Even when I went back and looked at the compilation and that, McAllister did it in the latter part of last season. But you are right, that is missing, bro. Every time people mention a 10 and I start thinking of Odegaard and all these teams, I can go through all the teams, bro. And everyone's got that kind of player and we don't have one. Or he's not playing.
And that's what it is. It's like we've got McAllister, but then McAllister was doing it, but McAllister isn't even like at the elite level of that. Like, when I look at like what an Erdegaard, I know I keep talking about him, that's a great example. Yeah. When you go and look at a player like that, he's not on that level. Like, yeah, he can do it. I've seen a ball zip into him, left foot touch, play Salah in goal. I remember that goal was done. That touch was done. But you need someone that is able to go and do that. And when you haven't, that's where the problems arise. And what I think the issue Liverpool have got as well is that naturally as a team, we still are very, how can we get the ball back to front as quick as possible? Sometimes you've got to be able to work, bang, zip it into those pockets and speed up the attack with a different type of pass. So you zip it into feet there. Whereas before you're setting it, you're trying to move the defense around. Liverpool don't do that well. So they get a bit tired or get a bit, bored of doing the basic stuff. All of a sudden Trent just whips a ball in, or Salah tries a Trevella pass or tries to shoot when he doesn't have to. And all of a sudden you're like, bruv, we're conceding the ball, like we're giving away possession. You've got to be very patient to trust the fact that you're going to break them down sooner rather than later, like a City or like what Barca used to do, where some games they'll only win 1-0, but they'd have the ball for 80% of the game. Yeah. Like, it wasn't every game they're smacking teams 5-0. So I don't know, it's going to take time, man. It's going to take time. And I don't know, personnel-wise, I think there's still a lot of improvements to be made in it. If you want to be like the best, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, man. I saw this comment here from Liverpool Truth Channel. Big up to yourself. Haaland like a robot. The whole City team works for him. All he needs to do is be in close proximity of the box or inside and receive the ball. The problem with that is he's the only one scoring. Disagree, because they have other players who will score goals for them. And also with Manchester City, I guess the problem for us in terms of other teams, they don't just have a one way of playing based on they have a multitude way of playing depending on who's on the pitch. So if Haaland doesn't play, when they had Alvarez, for example, you would play towards that way. Now Alvarez, of course, isn't there anymore. If Haaland was to get injured, I promise you, they will find another conducive way to play.
They'll play Foden and false nine.
Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if I started seeing freaking, I don't know, Bernardo Silva, heck, Rico Lewis just sitting in false nine for the sake of, just to move the team around. Like, it's so difficult talking about City sometimes because they are such an anomaly with what they do in terms of the players they have, the style of play and stuff like that. But I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying. I mean, you say I disagree. They will struggle to be as effective up top.
We didn't
struggle if we didn't have Salah. Or we didn't
they lost Haaland last season for a bit, and they didn't struggle.
But for time, it was months. That's where.
It was around that Christmas period. They didn't struggle at all. In fact, that's when they clawed all their points back. Because remember, they went away while Liverpool and Arsenal dropped points, and they came back and they carried on scoring goals, bro. They get goals from all around the team. And to be fair, Liverpool do as well. We do get goals from all around the team, but when people say, it's all aimed towards Haaland, like, well, yeah, that's football. It's the striker, isn't it? That's what their job is.
Literally.
It's not a problem. You know
that's that saying. Yeah, your midfielder's getting bare touches of the ball. Like, bruv, that's the whole point.
Yeah, how many times have you watched games and then when the rival fans want to speak to us after, they're like, you would have lost if it wasn't for Alisson making all them saves. I'm like, yeah, it's his job, bruv.
Yeah, but this is it. This I get it, point scoring and stuff like that. And the thing is, Liverpool, I think I get where you're kind of coming from. Yes, just like Barcelona with Messi when they had Pep Guardiola. Yes, he scored 80 to 90% of their goals. Are you now telling me that other players like Suarez, Neymar, Iniesta, who else do they have? Pedro, David Villa. Are we now saying that if they didn't have Messi, they still wouldn't be like a top team? Or are you just saying that because they're gearing their game more towards this one player? Of course, they're not going to be at that same level. But bro, come on, this is Manchester City, guys. We need to understand and respect them.
He still scored more goals than everybody else. He doesn't, and obviously the anomaly with Haaland, he scored like a couple of hat tricks and that already, in it. So obviously 9% of the goals sounds crazy, but they didn't need to win all these games like 5-0 and that. They were already off.
literally.
Like that, innit? So I don't think it's a bad thing. That's football for me, bro. That's why everyone has a position on the pitch, bro.
Who does City have? I mean, you just named it: Foden, Doku, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri.
Save time, bro. The whole team.
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
You know that Jones and Ake and that will pop up with a goal, and then
bro, I swear Vardio got like a few goals towards the back.
All bad boy goals as well. He scored from outside the box.
Do you know what it is as well? Just to address what Hollywood Rock is saying, is that it's because like Haaland's in the team. If Haaland's not in the team, they're gonna have to find someone else to go and get goals. Like do you know what I mean? It's like at this moment in time, we're playing Gravenberch in this deep line role, or McAllister, whoever, they're floating around and changing. If you had another player, you'd play someone else there, innit? Like that's just the way it is. So of course, if they've got Haaland, you're gonna use him. It's like us saying, yeah, but Salah's Salah's got all the goals this season, basically. Salah's got all the assists and all the goals this season, and Diaz chopped him with a couple. That's it.
I feel like people just like all the arguments. I don't get it, bro. Like,
the one thing I will not do with Man City is at any point say, "Oh, they've lost this person." So, if anyone learned a lesson by now, that City have had bare seasons. I've seen them without De Bruyne for a whole season, and then Sterling all of a sudden scored 19 goals, bro. I saw Mahrez score 17 goals and wasn't even the top goal scorer and wasn't
even the top scorer, bro.
They always find a way.
Sterling compared to Messi and Ronaldo because of one season.
Exactly.
One season.
They've got a top coach, bro, and a top coach has got a way to get the goals for their team, bro. He's never worried about that, Guardiola.
Listen, man. Like I say, guys, let's leave City alone. They're that anomaly. We're not at that type of level where I feel that it will happen in that kind of way. But we could get there. I'm not saying it's not impossible, but right now, nah, that's not happening. All right, to the ratings of the game. Let's go quickly whiz through this. As I said, people, you'll be redirected to Enza's stream, which I believe starts at 12:30. So make sure you stay locked in. Ali, what are we thinking about Ali's performance? He had one save in the game from what I saw the stats. Had that stupid moment where he tried to assist Tammy Abraham. But outside of that, I don't think
he had right at the end of the game. Because I know they didn't show the replay because the whistle went. You know when Leal sat Gomez down?
Oh, yeah.
Ali saved it onto the post, or did it just hit the post?
I think he got a touch.
You know, like he saved it.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's
you know the one right at the end when he done the step over Gomez, sat on his ass like Mario, and then he
that one. Yeah. To be fair, I heard about it. I didn't even see that bit. After when like 89th minute.
Gary, don't watch it. You don't ever have to see that. Bro.
Is it mad?
That man done. Yeah.
Nice said, man.
Well, like I Spice bad, like.
Bruv, put it this way, One thing I'll say about with all that control Liverpool has, and I think Mike that scored in yesterday made a point that one thing they need to get to the point is it's like they get bored on it and they can't control the whole of the game. So there's like 8 minutes left, and all of a sudden it looks like if this team score one goal, they might draw with Liverpool. And that's what happened. All of a sudden, Leao and Abraham just started running at us. Sent Trent. You see what Abraham he dropped a step over Meg Trent, and Trent was trying to claw his shot back, and he couldn't catch him.
Couldn't catch him. It was long.
Then Leao done 2 step overs and sent Ibu, and Ibu was running in quicksand.
Bro, the pace that he had on Ibu was mad. Like, I get it because he's running at full, and Leao's quick, by the way. Like, I know he's fast, but Jesus Christ!
And then he had a Gomez one. He basically like sent him. Gomez went to spin one way, went the other way, and then fell over, bruv.
No, it was long. It was long. Like, bruv, it was so weird though. From like, it was as if someone had given Leao like a Zenzu bean, and he just said, "Yeah, like." I'm just that fool. Like I didn't know, like I was like, where did this even come from, bro?
I'll tell you where it come from. You see the telling off the guy at the end of the game. What they always get off. When they lose the game, they have to go to the ultras. I think Leao looked up at one point, saw them, and said, "All right, let me just try."
Let me try something. Because it was peak. It was peak still. Like them ultras, I'll be shook. I can't lie. Like I applaud the players for even going to the ultras to like say, thank you. Because see me, I'll be mad shook. Like, when you're looking at them, I'm seeing guys with masks on and that. I'm like,
horrible, bro, because it seems like they don't have a choice, bro. Like, it's not like the manager says ignore the ultras and that, or their federations like don't worry about them. No, you have to go and see them, blood. It's a long day still. It's a long day, but I thought Ali was decent, bro. I don't want to sound harsh on it because obviously I think Alisson should have done better in the Nottingham game as well with that goal, but. I keep trying to see the replay back of Pulisic's goal, and I feel like Alisson should have done better, bro. I don't know why, but it doesn't like it half goes underneath him. It's like every time it kind of goes underneath his arm, bro.
You know what's crazy? I think you see a goal like that and like a goal like with the Nottingham in terms of his position and that. If I continue to see that, that's when I'll start looking at Ali differently. For now, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say the shot was so good that you just wasn't saving it anyway. I'm gonna go with that. But I know exactly what you mean in terms of I feel like you could have got a better, but I'm not a goalkeeper. So
I feel like the power. I feel like the power of the shot probably took it past him. But the Nottingham one, that I don't care what anybody says, bro. When Alisson slides on his knees like that for OnlyFans, bro, that's because he thinks it's going wide, bro, and that's why it went in. But that's why I give Alisson like 6.5. No,
yeah, that's kind of what I had. By the way, people, I know everyone's saying Ibu got back on him. He didn't. It was Gomez, I think. No, it was Gomez or Gravenberch. Someone else blocked.
Gravenberch got him out of trouble twice, but when Ibu got him out of trouble, and when Trent got cooked, he saved him.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, like as in, if no one was behind Ibu at that moment in time, I promise you, they're scoring from that moment. But he just cooked him. Can we just admit that he just got cooked for like in the
bro, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why everyone gets all emotional about it. They want to keep this.
Bro, he was solid for the rest of the game. Like, I'm not even cussing him. I'm saying moment he got cooked.
I'm not used to seeing that happen to Ibu blood ever.
Yeah, same.
But the way he cooked him and left him, I was like, why is he running like he's in quicksand, bro? Like this,
bro. It was mad. Trent, how do we feel like Trent played yesterday? I thought he was calm. I thought he was calm. And people were speaking about him versus Leao and stuff, but I said it in the preview. Liao isn't the type of winger I feel that will get the best of Trent like that. I
I
don't
was
feel
more
like it's
worried
that
about
type of
Thingy.
winger.
I was more worried about Hernandez on the overlap, but he weren't doing it, so it was fine.
Yeah.
He's rapid, but I don't. There's parts in the game what I didn't like from Trent, and then there's parts what I really liked when he stopped doing the long ball. And if man saw Slot after the game, he basically said what we said. Where we said when he learns to stop doing that, he doesn't need to do it all the time. So yeah, that's what we've been saying the whole time, innit? But when he was doing the short passing in the midfield, I liked it, man. He was very good. So, but and defensively for most of the game, it was good. But I can't lie. But the last 10 minutes when he kept getting cooked, I didn't like it.
Yeah. But this is what I said. I said at the beginning of the show. I said, so that we don't say it for everybody, the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, the last 10 minutes of the game, Liverpool were poor. I'm like, I could only focus on that 65 in the middle because I'm like, the last 10 minutes, it was just all over the gaff. Like the team was just running through. But I think I had him at 6.5/7 because I said, nah, I did like what he was doing in terms of keeping it simple. I just like that about his game. Like, I don't need the Hollywood thing. I feel like Slot's gonna start, getting onto man and saying, "Bro, I need you to just stop doing this."
Well, now he's mentioned it in the press. That's one thing you get from Slot so far. I know it's a Dutch thing anyway, because when you see their interviews, he keeps calling out stuff that what we're mentioning. He says it after the game now. He just says it, bro. Like, you got to stop doing that. Or when man was talking about Szoboszlai not shooting enough, he said, if he wants to be a 10, you're gonna have to score more goals than he did last season. He only scored 3. It's like, okay. So, I got Trent out like a 6.5 as well. Like,
that's jiggy. Ibu. He's a tricky one, man. I felt like he had a solid game.
Yeah, I think he had a solid game and he scored a goal as well.
Scored a goal.
Literally, apart from that time he got cooked, he was fine all game, bro.
Yeah. But he recovered after he got cooked, didn't it? Did he not?
No.
I think like the other thing. Do you remember when he dived in and he swung his foot at Lau and Lau just span him? Do you remember?
Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah. I'm talking about the where man just beat him for pace and then crossed.
Okay, I didn't see that one. I just remember when he tried to Liao and Liao just span him.
Oh, and then he ran back. Yeah. I think that's what everyone
African backhead slap trying to run back.
By the way, maybe I don't know if everyone was thinking I was talking about what Jerry. I wasn't talking.
I was talking about the other one when he dropped the two-step over.
And then just dipped. Now, but that one, the one that Jerry's talking about, he got back.
Yeah,
he definitely got back. I'd say 7.5, I guess, for the goal as well. Like,
I thought he was good.
That was what about Verge? El Cap? Why you putting 8, bro? El Capitan. I almost feel like with Verge, I said this before about him and Ali. You know when they don't have that much to do in a game?
Yeah.
So you're almost like, I can't give you a high rating for not doing much. But that's not your fault. It's just
exactly
that much to do. Like, he had no aerial duels in the game, from what I saw. I think no or ground duels. One of the two. No aerial or ground duels. I'll double check. But one of them he didn't have any, and I was like, you see, you're not like he's not doing anything. So how highly could I, rate him?
No aerial duels for Van Dijk is a crazy stat, blood. If that's true, bro.
No, sorry, it wasn't aerials. I apologize. It was ground duels. He had no ground duels in the entire game.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing to do, but them man was shook of him still.
Yeah, of course. Who else was gonna They weren't trying to. Morata wasn't trying to fight too much with him. Abraham couldn't. Them long, lanky youths, bro. I say 7.
Yeah,
he
scored as well on it, so I'll probably give him the same as Ibu.
Yeah. You're right. Tsimikas.
Hey, listen.
I know he got an assist, but
Nah, Cav was cooking him.
Yeah, Cav. I heard Cav.
He was doing the hot potato thing, innit? Like, he didn't want the ball, bro. Like, he was doing weird shit in the game, bro. That's what was getting with him. Obviously, he got assist from Virgil's goal, but like, I don't know, man. I can't get over this random header that he did for no reason. Like, he was just could have controlled it. In the middle of the park.
Yeah.
It's the shots that annoyed me, man.
Bro, every fucking time, bro. Jesus Christ.
One of them hit with his right foot, bro. It was so bad. Like,
but did you see the way, like, when he actually shaped up for the right foot shot? And I was like,
mad.
Nah, he's gonna bend it. He's gonna bend it. And then the shot was that. I said, Tsimikas, stop shooting, bro.
I told you, bro. I don't want to keep bringing up women from school and that, but that's the technique. That's the technique to kick it up. When them girls give you the ball back, you always say, just throw it. and they kick it blood and it goes somewhere else. Don't. Yeah,
Bro, he
so,
had 4 shots in the game, bro. I
He had
don't
more
want my
shots than
left back.
Jota.
Yeah, bro, he had more shots than our striker, and none of them were on target, not even close. I'll be honest, outside of the assist, I just felt like he was like average. Like he was just average in the game.
All right, cool. But right, if he's offering delivery like that and getting an assist, he contributed to the goal, innit?
No, but that's what outside
No,
of
but
the
what
goal.
I'm saying is, what do we? It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Mm.
If we could have had like a Joe Gomez in there, right, that you know is not going to provide anything going forward, but might have been a bit better defensively. But then you get a brother there that was just moving mad, but at the end of the day, got an assist in it.
what I will say about Tsimikas and everything to do with on the ball and that, when it came defensively, he actually was good against them, stood them up every time. I don't remember anyone getting past him either, to be honest. Apart from when the header at the beginning of the game. Yeah, I don't remember anyone getting past him, to be honest. But so it wasn't a great game. I'll probably give him like a 5.5 or something like that. It was horrible to watch though on the ball. Like no aesthetics.
Yeah, shit, bro. You know when you're just like, bro, give me at least a little. Gravenberch. Oh, sorry. Seedorf.
I don't do that. Don't.
Oh, but not even
Seedorf.
Seedorf. Man, call him. No, sorry.
Bro,
no. You know what? I'm wrong. It wasn't even Seedorf. They called him.
Now, K-Mac started Seedorf last season still. Before we didn't like him, the first thing he said was Seedorf, bro. So he did start that. And then he said he was shit. Then he said he was a shit pug. But then he said he wanted to sell him, and now he's great again. So,
Let me see if I can find the
Who
picture.
called Gravenberch Seedorf?
K-Mac called him Seedorf,
no.
and then everyone called him Yaya Toure 2.0 last season for the first 2 games he played.
Then he was Pogba. Then he was Pogba, innit?
Then he was Pogba, but then he was shit Pogba with the voodoo on him. That Pogba. So
I'm going to show you the picture, guys. Right, this is the picture that's going around right now. Yeah. Hold on, I got it.
Has anyone checked the grounds of Old Trafford yet for the hyena blood? Remember they said that there was a hyena on the ground.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What's mad though with Grav, yeah? His rate of pass sometimes is a bit poor, you know. Like sometimes he's zipping it into man.
This is the picture that's going around, you know.
Like, it looks real, man. Like,
no, it looks real. That's what I'm saying. It fully looks real. Like at first I was like, bro, that looked kind of like my man, though. No. Then I was obviously it's like my brain.
Are you sure that's not like his granddad or someone?
Like, looks like
that's
the
back or something. Like.
Thing, bro.
The thing is funny, yeah, because if anyone's watched Hullet, bro, he literally plays nothing like him.
Bro, this is what I'm not understanding with people. Why do you like keep trying to compare players to a player that he doesn't even play nothing like?
It's like a brother saying, yeah, like Sterling and Yakubu, they're the same.
Yeah, the same player. Like, oh, you know what? I'm like, what? They're not even the same player, bro. Jesus Christ, bro. But yeah, the way people like, listen, look. I thought Gravenberch was calm in the game. I really do think he was, calm in the game. But I'm starting to get confused as to how I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude.
No,
the way that people are talking about Gravenberch, yeah, I'm just like, so this impresses you this much that we're getting pictures like this, like like what he's doing is so good. I think did Ruud didn't he win a Ballon d'Or? I feel like he won a Ballon d'Or. Yeah. So we're saying he's operating at this level. Fairs, and that's all I can, and that's all I'll say on that is if that's what you think, fairs. I get it, but then that goes back to what me and Savage said about the quality of players today in comparison to yesteryears.
Listen, I think he's been really good here, but as I said, if it only takes 5 games for man to start acting like man's world class and that, but broski, I can't wait for Curtis to have 5 good games. But I guess,
yeah, bro, yeah, Curtis will start. Who's he'll just be like Gerrard.
They'll find someone. They'll find some random scouser to call him.
Yeah. No, he'll be Gerrard because Gerrard was number 17 on the back. They'll be like, oh, remember when Gerrard with a shaved head and that, like, and they'll be like, if Curtis shaves his head, I promise you, and starts playing good for 5 games.
No originality and no creativity. Man just picked out Hullet, bro. That's like when I remember when Rod said before, he said, yeah, you know what it is? The way Toure plays just reminds me of Son. I said, Rod. That's
Son. Oh.
No, that's racist, bro. That is pure racism.
That's racist.
Rod, that is racism at the highest. Man said Wataru plays like Son. Nah. That is
Like Yoshida plays like Kagawa and that.
that Kagawa. You know when you start, they're so similar in what they do.
Now,
so,
you know it's true though, because man, do with the thingy, any black striker is Drogba, in it all the
it's
time.
Drogba, yeah, straight away. Look at Jackson.
That's what they're saying about Duran now, isn't it? The way Duran shouldered him, it's just like young Drogba.
I told man about John Duran, man. Duran's crazy.
I can't lie. He looks solid, you know. I can't even front. He actually looks
Bro,
solid.
man's 20 years old as well, you know.
He's only 20. Okay.
MLS, that's the MLS quality there.
Bro, yeah, someone was saying he was playing for some dead team out in like the MLS or something like that. And now he's over here. But what are we saying for Grabs, man? How did you guys like if we had to give it a rating, what are we saying for this?
I think he was calm, yeah. Like, I think he was good. I actually think he was good. I think he's been good.
Yeah, same.
I just think like, you know, sometimes like see the weight like to just be a bit picky. The weight of pass sometimes when he's playing in that deep line role is a bit mad sometimes. Like, a couple of times he's pinging that ball at Szoboszlai, you know, like it's coming like you know that machine, you know the launcher when you put the ball in, boom, brother, you just pumping it in. And it's like, brother, what's Szoboszlai supposed to do?
The thing of Jerry said that, but there's a particular time I know he's on about probably rough.
You know I'm talking about, innit? And Szoboszlai just bobbled up like a mad touch. I was like, why? You didn't have to do that. Like, it's just. It's that stuff that he has to learn, but apart from that, like, he's cool. Obviously, he's the type of player like Szoboszlai, yeah, that doesn't even need to have like because of his size and his build and stuff, he can have an impact on the game without being amazing or doing something outstanding on the ball, and he's decent on the ball as well. So again, like Red Armchair said, he's silky. So nice. I'll give him like a 7.5.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I'm up for. I probably had him at 8. I think he's only because his defensive work was really good. That's what I think.
Yeah, made a lot of interceptions. Yeah.
Maybe 8, like 7.5, 8 is all the same thing.
Yeah, so. And a lot of the times he was protecting the players that had lost the ball themselves, and so I did like that, man. He was always in the right spot. But I hear what you're saying, still, man. I'm enjoying his performances and that, but sometimes I told you the
and Savage. That's what I feel like. Again, I'm just good with that. Like, I'm enjoying the performances as well. Yeah. I just feel like. We you know, big man up to just tear him down, bro. Like, and that's I don't want that, because I've always looked at certain players, like even like with Szoboszlai, like I've still got stocks in Szoboszlai. I know people don't, but I've got stocks in the kid, so maybe I'm a bit more biased with him and his performance levels. But I almost just feel like all it takes, as you said, is Gravenberch maybe to get injured, for example, Curtis Jones to come in 5 games, does really well in 5 games. Man are gonna be like, bro, we don't even need grabbers anymore, you know, because Curtis Jones, he's got the shaved head. I'm telling you, Curtis Jones should have shaved his head and got the number 17 on his back. I promise you, man will call him Steven Gerrard, old school.
I hear, man.
The 2001 kit, the red kit, where Gerrard scores against Everton and that, when he runs away, bro, I promise you, it's coming.
All he needs is just a screamer from outside of the box.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
This, like that celebration and that, man, will just be
bro, this is what I promise you. He just needs that, and the comparisons will come. But listen, man, big up Gravenberch anyway, because he did get man of the match in the official game. So yeah, big him up, man, big him up. McAllister, Mr. Mac 10, sometimes a bit jammy in that, but what we saying for yesterday's game?
This man is so angry about being small, boy. He's so angry.
And takes it out on the ball as well.
He does, man.
Just whacking it, like honestly, Mr. Whack It at this point. Like every time the ball comes, whack. Like I swear to you, like every time the ball comes to him, like every 3 passes, it's just a whack, just a whack into space. He's worse than Henderson at it.
Yeah,
he's so aggressive, bro.
He's so aggressive. He does have that little man syndrome, bro. I promise you. He does. Angry, bro. He's so angry.
He's either got the angry face or that NPC Messi face where they look confused, bro.
Yeah.
just not confused and shit. I watched them.
That's the FIFA face, you know, when the eyes come in like that.
Yeah,
bro.
When they were coming back on the pitch for the second half, and I saw them running from downstairs and that, I said in Mac's face, I said, "Why is everyone else look ready for the game? You look pissed, bro. Like, what happened?" Hey, man, I don't know, blood. This is funny, you blood. But
it almost seems like he's another one where I'm like, I'll be so interested to hear what the manager tells him to do in matches, because you've almost tried to turn him into this, like, or maybe it's just him, but he just, as you said, he's just walking around just angry. I'm like, you know, you might need to see someone, you know, my bro. Like,
real talk, bro.
Like, you might just need to chat to someone. Like, I know bare therapists, you know. Trust. Like you can just chat to them.
Maybe he's deep. Maybe he's deep. He needs to be our Arturo Vidal, innit? Our Vidal and that. Maybe that's maybe
Okay.
maybe
But
maybe
that's
he's
clear,
looking at it like maybe he's looking at it like you know when you go. All right, this is why I'm going to compare it. Yeah, you know in that secondary school, you had brothers that might have been at a certain level on badness and stuff, right? And then you had some other people that were just like they tried to be on badness, but no one really rated them. They weren't on it, so they had to like carve out their own thing. There might have been this type of player, the baller, did this, whatever in school. You go sixth form to another sixth form where man don't know you, or even uni, right? Man tried to reform themselves. They tried to change who they are. And it feels like McAllister has done that. Like he's like, yeah, I'm this guy. Like they call me Mac 10. Maybe that's you know what I mean?
They call me Mac 10 still.
You know what I mean?
I know he's telling his Argentinian friends when he goes back to Argentina. He's saying,
yeah,
bro,
se llama Mac 10.
Se
llama Mac 10.
Yeah.
I'm Mac
Yeah,
10. Soy
bro.
Mac 10. Do you know what I mean?
That's jokes, but
they call me Mac 10 still, obviously, because man's got the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really like talk about it too much. Like,
because the way I'm saying it, yeah, because the way I'm seeing it is like, I don't. Like obviously, I know I'm at Brighton when I saw a couple games. He looked calm. He was scoring penalties, a couple free kicks. He was calm. But since we've seen him at Liverpool, he's not the type of midfielder I thought he was.
yeah, same.
Like he's not like Gundogan. He's not that type of midfielder. He's just like he's a 6 that can't really defend. Like that's the way I see it. Like he's not the best 10. He's not the best 8. He's not the best 6, but he's decent. He's good. He's just a good player. And maybe he has to be that. He needs to be that crunch in that midfield, innit? He needs to be the Milner, the Henderson, whatever it is, in terms of just I'm going to be that aggressive brother in there. And you need someone like that,
right now, Millie, aggressive Millie. That's how he's playing right now. But...
yeah, but maybe he needs to be that. Like who else is like that in the midfield? Gravenberch looks soft. Soboslai, he looks soft as well.
Maybe we just can't enjoy all of our, you know, we might not be able to enjoy all of our midfielders' football ever, because I feel like if Mac's not further forward, I ain't going to enjoy football at all.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know, man.
Savage looks up sometimes.
Nah, it's pissed me down because I just think I remember last season when he started, man was like just making up stuff and it like trying to say that he was great when he wasn't great, and only G was getting pissed off. He was like, geez, like I don't want him in the 6. And then when they played him further forward, all of a sudden it was exciting again. Like he was scoring screamers, little dinks through and that. Then now he's back in this spot. I was like, he's just there, bruv.
Yeah, but this is what I was seeing last season when he was in, obviously not as isolated, obviously, as he was last season. So I'll give him that. But as Jerry said, he's like I won't even say he's just a midfielder who can't defend. So I'm just like, you're not a defensive midfielder like that. Like you're not someone I'm looking at to try and help out with the defensive plays of the game. Just stay further forward and do your thing there, wherever that thing is. Just do that.
I would much rather have not known anything about McAllister than if he played like this, I'll be fine. But because I know what I've seen him do before.
Yeah. Even Argentina don't play like this, you know.
Yeah,
I've seen like a couple of years play like this.
That's what I wonder about the Gravenberch thing and because I'm like, okay, so they tried to get Zubermendi, and I wonder what would have happened if he came in, because one of you ain't playing.
Maybe it's let me not even try and.
I know, bro. Slots got lucky right now. He wouldn't have played Gravenberch, but.
No. But obviously, okay. Sorry, hindsight. Yeah, like hindsight, I would say
now he's
maybe
giving him a chance.
Might be.
Now we give Gravenberch the chance. Now if Zubermendi came in, you might take out Maslow McAllister, but. When he was gonna buy him before it started, he would have played. It would have been Gravenberch not playing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It would have been Zubermendi and McAllister, and it would have been interesting to see McAllister be further forward. But listen, man, I guess I can't complain. But right, the manager in it, so it's just there though. He does stuff, but it's just not fun. And I'll
give him a 6. I'll be honest. I like for me, it was like a 6 type of performance. Like he was above average, and for me, that's fair enough to at least say. Hold on one sec. Salah, what are we saying from Mo?
Whatever you're about to say about Salah, just be careful. Anytime Salah's name gets mentioned, ends is lurking somewhere, blood.
It's funny because he just messaged me literally not too long ago, which is hilarious that you just said that. I will say Salah was a 6 as well.
See, I told you, bro. He's there, bro, in the chat.
Is he there? Let me see. Sorry, I'll just message it.
I said -1, blood.
What can we do when people got agendas, man? What can we say, man? What can we say? Yeah, I felt like, actually no, I'll go with 5. I'll go with average. Actually, it was an average performance from him. Didn't get any goals, no assists. So the GA side, that was crap. Did try. I know someone said, God loves a trier. He did try, hit the post. That shot that he rocketed with his right foot, that was such a typical I'm not right-footed type of shot. The reason I know is because I'm not right-footed. So that's how I would shoot with my right foot in that moment, is just kind of swing a leg at it, but it's enough strength in there to, to really rattle. Obviously, he's got the pace in that. But yeah, other than that, he was, as you said, Jerry mentioned about the whole Jota thing, about the way Jota was like creating space at times, and he was creating space for Salah to sometimes pop the ball into the middle for like the runners, whether that be McAllister, Szoboszlai, or whoever it was in there. He was finding those passes, but honestly, it was just an average performance from him, bro. Like,
I just thought he was all right. I didn't think he was like bad. Like I said, man, sometimes you just need a young overlap, man, so we can vary the play. But if Trent doesn't overlap, then it's very easy to know what he's going to do on it. So, he had the shot tonight, hit the crossbar. I think it was well within his rights to take the shot tonight, and they weren't bad shots, and obviously you didn't score though. This is the one thing I will say is with Salah yesterday is not that he done something bad, but in the second half he went really quiet. Like I'm on about to the point where I thought that he got subbed off when I had a sip of my drink, bro. And then
I hear.
Salah playing, and then I'm like, "Wow, he's playing," and he ain't done anything wrong on the ball, but I don't feel like he's been involved at all, bro. I don't know if that's because Gakpo started to get more into the game and everything started going down that side, because we're used to it happening the other way around, did it, with everything happening on his side of the pitch. And then obviously once we had 3 goals, bro, I knew what was going to happen because it's trademark Salah in it. Now it's my time to get a goal, so I ain't passing it to you.
No, facts. But of course he's going to get greedy.
Everyone else has scored. It's like, yeah, I need my goal, bro.
Yeah, that was always going to happen. You think Salah's going to travel for no goal?
That's normal Salah, bro. As long as he does that when we're up in the game, I ain't as mad, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course. No. It's when you're doing it in, like, when he was doing it against Nottingham, I was like, bro, like, I don't need that now. Zobo.
This should be interesting. Not from the panel, but from the chat, bro.
Yeah, from the chat. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I feel like the chat are ready to give man -1s in that.
I think it was good.
So do I.
Yeah, no, so do I. I think it was good.
He set the tempo in the midfield. He pressed. He won the ball back enough times. On the counter, he was supporting attacks. He was also defending.
Yeah,
I don't know what man expect from him. Do man expect what? Rabonas and flick
the
only
nitpick going to have from Szoboszlai is his passing was a bit meaty, bro. But apart from that, I thought he was really good. And yeah, he was about everywhere. Anytime there was a defensive situation, he would always back up the other person. Always, bro. And I'm on about he'd run far to get there as well, to just try and help out. So I am mad at him at all. Indecisive in some moments, but I kind of expect that from him at the moment, and I'm sure he'll get better at it. I don't know, man. I don't know why people are on his case as much yesterday. His goal was good.
Oh, bro.
I think he started the move as well, bro. And you always want the midfielder in the 10 to make that late run into the box. I love that. So good ball from Gakpo to him as well.
Give him 7.5.
Oh, man, he was all right, man. I don't know. I think people have said too much harsh stuff about him already, so now they're just stuck. And they don't want to do what they said, so they just have to double down on it. But he has a good game. It's not. Surely you should want him to play good in it.
K-Mac, I don't know, by the way. Like I said, I didn't even say your name, but something you've clearly said has upset people in the chat. I don't know what you said. I didn't see what you said, but you said
something. You're not backing your brethren. You're doing the whole. I'm not involved.
No, somebody.
I'm gonna end up kicking this guy out of the street.
Oh, somebody said in the chat that he was. Says came out was slandering the team after Milan scored. Effing embarrassing. Blood.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you do a watch along yesterday? Boy.
Hey man, this is YouTube, blood. You have to get used to that still. Man.
Yeah.
Just got to firm it and move on.
I'll talk about you all the time, K man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't care, bro. You say mad stuff, bro. I'm calling it out. You get me? So But it's all good blood. It's all love.
Savage is literally the name that he calls himself. Gakpo, bro. I thought obviously he was our best attacker, bro.
I think he was the best player.
Yeah, same. I had him as man of the match. Yeah, I just thought he was solid, man. I honestly thought he was genuinely solid in the game. Yeah, everything he was doing, man. Everything he was doing on the ball, off the ball, whatever. I just felt like, all in all, it was a good performance from Gapinho. You know what I'm saying?
Might see a couple of men have some shots as well, man, because I feel like under this new thing now, man, I'm trying to pass the ball into the net every time. Sometimes, bro, just let a shot go, because we're gonna have less chances than we did prior as well. Like I've checked so far this season of all the stats and that, bro, and the amount of shots that we have is gone down significantly, and obviously we don't have clinical attackers, so it means that everything becomes a little bit more important, fine margins and that. Whereas before we used to the quantity thing. If we can't score, we'll just keep having bare chances till we get a goal. So some of them shots were good in that. Because I think the keeper made a few good saves as well in the game.
Yeah. The other goalkeeper.
The 12-year-old looking you.
Yeah. He looked mad young. But
yeah, man, Cody was on it still. Good performance from him, man. He played like he played in the Euros yesterday.
Yeah. 100%. Pops is saying Gakpo had his best game. Long way. Yeah. It's just gonna, obviously we don't know what Slopp's gonna do for the game at the weekend. For all I know, Diaz comes back into the team now. So, you know what I mean? Gakpo's back on the bench now.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? That whole situation, because Diaz and Gakpo are so different. Are so different, but it's like, it's very funny. Like, for all Gakpo's efforts yesterday, right, and the PMP, the output with Diaz is quite similar, innit? Like playing on that left-hand side. Like they're not. I know he's having them shots, and I heard you talking about before. Like he can lick a ball, like Rashford-esque. Like when he hits it, it's true. It comes off his foot. But it's like, it's not like he's doing Mane numbers and that. Like he's very similar. They're very similar in terms of what they do. So you just got to think about, like, all right, would you prefer to play against like a Gakpo or play against a Diaz? Because ultimately, what they're giving you is similar. It's just a bit of a different way of doing it.
That's very true, man.
Like when you deep it, like when I'm deeping it, I'm like, cool. They're quite similar in terms of what they're giving out. I mean, Diaz has done well this season, but in general, the output has been quite similar, especially when they're playing on the left.
Oh yeah, even on the stats,
do you prefer this PMP type of Rashford winger, or do you prefer the what type of winger is going to be more effective in a game for more than just GNA? And that's the thing we just got to think about as a fan base, isn't it? But no, he was good, man. He was good.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny you said that, actually, because if you're thinking of being when you're a defender, and if I had to pick, I'd rather play against Gakpo, but as you said,
and I think that's why I think Diaz goes and starts, because pace and power, of course, is mad.
Yeah,
but he's like Gakpo. He's not like flipping Sterling, peak Sterling pace, where you can't catch. Once he's gone, you can't catch him. Like it takes a while for him to get going, just like a Rashford. They got a shot on them, but you know he's not gonna pretend to come inside, cut back on his left, cut back on his right. He's very kind of, he's always looking to come on his right foot. He might go down a thing and put a ball in, which he did, to be fair. Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. But I think he was good, man. I think he was good. I don't think he's done enough to like warrant starting the way some people are like, no, he's got to be our starting left winger now, just because some people like this pace and power and man taking shots.
That's where I agree, is that I would still start Diaz in the next game, because I still think that Diaz, with the form that he's been in and what he's showing me this season so far anyway, even if you want to include the Nottingham game as well, even still, I would still play Diaz. I think, but it's difficult because I don't think Gakpo does that well coming off the bench. So
no, he doesn't, man. And Gakpo
I couldn't give two shits though, by the way. As in, I don't care if you're playing well today and you get dropped tomorrow. I just want the best team on the day.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is, man.
I think the biggest difference is between them is you rarely find a game when Lucho's not in the game, bro. Like, he's not about somewhere. Yeah. There's games where you'll forget Gakpo's on the pitch, bro. Like, you're playing with 10 men. Doesn't do anything, bro.
Cody the Ghost, innit? Cody the Ghost for a while.
Gengar and that blood.
Hey, we got Gengar though. Diogo Jota, before we head out of here. Diogo Jota, I had him at average. And that's me being super kind.
Yeah, I think it's 5.
Calm.
I think that was calm. That's probably the easiest one. But yeah, we got Cody Gakpo.
Now, jokes aside, you see Nunes try the bicycle kick,
bro.
No, the worst one. Did you see Nunes when the ball came to him and he like took a mad shot?
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah. But
like,
I don't know if he was trying to cross it or.
No, it was a shot. It was a shot.
It was a shot because I said the same thing.
I tried to give him a benefit of the doubt.
When I saw the replay, I was like, he was not passing that, but that was
no. He didn't even know where the guy was. He just wanted to just beat Tomori and just shoot. And as he did it, like I don't know if he kicked it with his left foot, and then he kicked Tomori's leg, and Tomori's leg tried to block it, and they both fell.
Because if you see how long he had when the ball was dropping to him, and he's like, of all the stuff I'm going to do, I'm going to try and bicycle kick from out here. But I just.
He's actually the worst striker Liverpool have had, you know. I kid you not. No, I'm being deadly. Like he's the worst striker Liverpool have had, and he's playing like in the best team, which is why imagine him back when we had Poulsen and them, man. Oh my god.
You say Barini and sub off and bring on Nunes and that, man.
Barini's better than him. Barini's better than him.
Yeah, I like
Barini's better than him. Mister is better than him still.
That's so fun. Fucking hell,
man said Barini is better.
Lambert will be cooking. Like, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Like, I even you know what? I'd even take a gamble at like, not Poulsen. What's the other one, man? Voronin. I take a punt on Voronin. I take a punt, you know. I just take a punt, you know, like.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm playing the same every
end of the season.
I'm playing the same every time. Because in a part where Nunes got the ball on the left hand side, and I was thinking, like, I know you got no skill, so just burn him for pace on it. Right, he just lost the ball. I don't know what he's trying to run with the ball.
Bro, he's like 6 foot. Like, for him to burn him, he's gonna have to tap it like 10 meters, bro. By that time, the ball's off the pitch. He ain't getting no close control dribbling. Like, have you seen him do that?
Honestly, yeah. I'm sorry for the fun.
It's like his boots are too big as well. Like when he shoot, I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. I really don't know.
Like the bicycle kick was just hilarious. That was the funny one. But you're right. K-Mac said, did you see at the end Chiesa? I was like, yeah. I see Chiesa chatting to man like, yo, brother, like he was pointing like, yo, next time just do like. I was busting up.
You see Diaz. You see Diaz get mad at him as well. When you done that shot I'm talking about, you should have just squared it to Diaz or there would have been another goal. Instead, he decided to do that. Really, you know, Ngog would be like in double digits, like in this team, you know, like all these forwards that we had that we never really rated, that we expected so much from our forwards, that we needed Suarez and that, like to do something. Like Dirk Kuyt would be living now. We're looking at Dirk Kuyt as a 20-goal season striker in this Liverpool.
You think if it don't work out for Nunes, he does I know I said to you yesterday, G, but you think he does the Joe Linton thing that just ends up somewhere else?
Honestly, I think that would be a good.
Jerry
Where would you end up? Where?
I didn't.
Where? No, where? But there's no one else.
No, okay. But did you think Joe Linton would be a centre midfielder though? Did you honestly think that?
No, I didn't. But if I saw it, I was like, you know what? I can see it though.
Man, I get it because he's not rubbishing the ball in it.
Man, just not finishing goals. That's calm. Nunes, where are you putting him? At fullback, he's going to lose the ball. Yeah. In DM,
that's the only place.
He's going to be a deer in headlights. In centre mid,
that's the only place. Right back, right wing back. He has to do what Bayern Leverkusen do with Frimpong. Yes, play that.
He's not going to be able to do it. Coming in like chopping, bruv. Every time he taps the ball, he's going to lose it, and he's going to be out of position. He's going to be able to.
He might have to do the Gary Neville right back, the old school, just running it.
He wouldn't even be able to do that. The basic.
At least Gary Neville could defend. Like that's a bit.
Gary Neville was cold. He was cold.
Yeah. So. Shit, I don't know, man. You know what?
Goalkeeper, the only way I see it, he looks like a goalie to me. He looks like if we have Vicario up front. Him and Vicario have that same temperament. He looks like they'll jump, they'll do something like, do you know what I mean? Get emotional. Like, cool. If you put Vicario up front for Tottenham,
he used to be a centre back, innit? Afterman, he used to be a centre back, innit?
I believe so. Yeah. I definitely know he wasn't a striker when he first came through. So.
Magnon, he might be better than Nunes up front. Alisson so far has been a bit, you know what I mean? He scored a header. Maybe he could do a bit better. I don't know.
The header was accurate, boy. Like, you know them headers that you practice for.
Yeah, proper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh. All right, let's see.
Man. Nunes gonna end up at Atletico Madrid, but I already know.
Yeah. I feel like he'd have to leave
over there with the dark
somewhere else.
arts.
And yeah. And I feel like that will probably suit his type of football anyway. To be,
He needs to just go Italy, man. Go like Fiorentina or something. That's where he needs to go.
Yeah. But I feel like that's calm for someone like Nunes. Like, like what's wrong with Fiorentina? Like they had Vlahovic before. I'm saying they've had 1-2 ballers, Batistuta and them. Come on, bro. They've had strikers back in the day still.
Maybe Celta Vigo. Maybe something like that then instead.
When Aspas got there, blood, he was cold, bro. When he got to the league,
the thing is, you knew Aspas had a touch. This is what I'm saying.
True.
The players we're talking about have the basics of football down to a T. Like I can control the ball, I can pass it on my back foot. Man's the passes that he needs to take on his back foot, he's taking with his front foot.
Well, it's quite funny with Nunes,
Obviously, it's just terrible.
We've been watching all the old like Champions League games, like with the Club Liverpool ones and that. And I also watched the Benfica one last week with my son, and then I realised that everyone's questioning him about being offside. He scored like 3 offside goals in the game.
He was offside in the game as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he was offside. He scored 2 offside goals, bro.
Fuck's sake, bro.
Honestly. At this point,
done. What did Klopp do? Is like, bruv, he's like Dumbledore.
He did this on purpose.
He just left man in a mad mess.
He did this on purpose.
You don't know where to start.
He did this on purpose, bro. He said, "You know what? You lot fucked up my shit. Weren't giving me too much money at times."
Man. What are you saying? Send man to Salzburg and that blood for revenge.
You know what? But this is what I'm saying though. You just need to go somewhere where it's like there's not that much pressure on you. Like
you get bare confidence at Salzburg, bro.
Salzburg. Like if you cannot,
he doesn't get hard numbers at Salzburg. For me, he's a failure. At that point, you should just go to like I don't know Monterrey or something in Mexico and just live out his days.
Marque, thank you. That's the club. You see McBurney at freaking Las Palmas and that.
Yeah, McBurney was.
He has a touch, G. He has a touch,
bro. I see an interview with McBurney. He was talking about like the players like at Las Palmas. He was like, guys, like the quality of the technical ability of these guys. He's like, I've never seen this before. I'm like, yeah, because you've been fucking rocking at Sheffield United and that. So of course you ain't seen that shit, bro. Like you don't know what technical ability is until you get
breakfast. Like still bolts and stuff,
bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like of course you don't know.
Almost crazy, man. Players end up anywhere, bro. I said it at the end yesterday. I saw that Reading let Thingy go in Andy Carroll. Have you seen where he's ended up? Where he's about to
Bordeaux. Now he's going Bordeaux.
They're in the 4th division of the French league.
I know. He just said I just want to kick ball.
He's about to
he just said that I want to kick ball.
160 quid a week and a crossover.
I promise you, he just said I just want to kick ball. Like if I said to Jerry, like I just want to find a football team, like, and Jerry just said, yeah, I got a team. That's exactly what Andy. That's exactly what Andy Garrow's done. It's like, yeah, I got a team. Just come down. We play matches on Sundays. Like we train on Tuesdays.
You train? Nah, we don't train.
Oh, bro, one of my boys said that the other day. He's like, yeah, his team don't train. It's just matches. I said, bruh, you lot are crazy. That is bad, but hey, that's just big up the real McCoy. Love for the super chat that you put in the chat earlier on, guys. You will be redirected. Ends is going live, I assume, in the next 2 minutos. So make sure you guys stay right here. Make sure you lock into Enz's channel. Big up Jerry. Big up Savage. Love for joining me this morning. Liverpool back to winning ways. The Italian Job. Good film. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.